Got it.
Let's go.
Oh shit. Matt, what does the date say?
You've got it set to the 1st of March.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, leave.
Penis.
I set it right.
I'll stay. Tell it. Put on the Discord. Everybody leave, and then I'll stay in here until the last person's gone. Then I'll leave.
So there's no point in me joining yet.
Sorry,
no.
Dan, I've got you.
Oh god, you can't go flat through there. Oh,
What's going on? Did I hear something about leaving?
Leave the session. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what setup to run.
Fucking
Unlike
stupid
you,
game.
Sutty, to be indecisive. That
I've just
setup
realised-
runs quite nice on hard tyres, but you've got to bring them in.
I've just realised there why it was doing what
Have
it
they
was
left,
doing.
Matt?
If you're, there's still emo, Jamie, Mike, and Disco in there. Jamie's left.
Okay.
Just emo, Disco, and Mike.
I'll just go with you. I'm fast on the other setup. If I spin, I spin, Kelly. It's the first
that.
round. How's it on it, Matt?
Oh, Overtaker's now just fucking joined.
About to hit Matthew.
Monkey Boy's
Put it
now
on
just
Discord.
joined.
We might as well just apologise to each other now, Matt.
Why? You fucking hit me? Swear to God, it'd be the last thing you'd do.
I don't think it will. He's gonna whip me here, Kelly. You watch. Questionable
What's
driving's
that?
coming here.
Oh, yeah.
Has Kelly been privy to you and me racing each other, Matt?
Sorry, Dan, I'll finish that off with you.
We practice, Kelly. Alright, other leagues, we're fine. We'll go all the way around the track side by side. It's guaranteed if one of us spins, we hit each other.
For fuck's sake now, Biggs has joined.
I look forward to that.
Oh, 100% it'll happen.
No one
what-
clearly reads Discord brilliantly.
Never
Haven't
go
joined
on.
yet. Right. So, look, I'm gonna
How do I
exit. I'll
change
tell you what
my
I'm gonna do.
fucking doodah again?
Disco's
that.
finally left. Monkey Boy's finally left.
Hey, Matt, now my internet's good. I've got my sim dashboard up and everything.
Biggs has left.
There's like flashy lights, Kelly.
I'll just pop into party on Mike and tell Mike to leave. Hang on. Oh, don't matter. He's just left. Just Overtaker and emo guy.
I've even got water temperature.
What temperature? What do you need that
I've got oil pressure, oil temp.
How do I change my
I have to.
my audio settings to all come through my headphones? I've forgotten how to do it.
Andy's now joined.
Audio output device, Cal.
You put something on Discord, no one reads the fucking thing.
So if I've had 1,700 starts,
Hemo guy's left.
I want to try my best round here, Kelly, but I haven't done very well in practice. I'm just going to let you know that, but I'm going to try my best.
Okay.
I think it was spin either turn one or the other, you know, where you have the left and left. Is it spoon or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Either one of them I'll spin.
Andy's gone.
Guaranteed.
Who's left? Overtaker.
Just Overtaker.
Fuck me, man.
What have we got left? Just Overtaker.
Just Overtaker.
So I'll be the judge of that name. Oh, Matt,
Yeah.
that other league. Oh my god.
Diabolical, innit?
I got second in a touring car race. In the BM.
Oh, shit!
So,
Has he
I've just
left
found it.
No.
it? Fuck me. Surely he would have figured out by now that everyone's left.
Smoky Devil's now fucking joined.
can I join yet? I feel left out.
No.
No.
Does anyone read anything?
No.
Not on
Can
Discord.
I join now?
No.
What about now?
No, you fucking annoying
Right.
little shit.
Reel it in, Sutty, you're gonna get a fucking slap, I think.
No?
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Overtaker's gone. Just fucking Smoky Devil now.
You watch Emplava will turn up now.
Peaceful's back in.
Brilliant.
I haven't sent a fucking invite.
Are we the only ones that are actually paying attention to this, Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gary, he hasn't turned up yet.
Oh, Gary's going to join in a minute.
And Plav won't be turning up because he's not racing tonight, is he?
I didn't know that. Anyway,
Oh,
is Smokey still there?
Yeah, he's still there. I'm messaging him on my phone now to his PlayStation.
Fuck.
Gary's now just joined.
I told you.
That wedding, Dusty Glaze. 180 steps.
Does no one read Discord? It's really
Nope.
fucking irritating.
You're better off just putting it on the Facebook post.
Smoky Devil's now left.
Right,
No,
who's
it's
got
just
left? Just
Gary and you.
Get out of the
Oh, he is.
fucking lobby!
Gary's here now.
Leave the lobby!
Okay, Chief.
Good luck.
He's heard you now, you shouted, Matt. You couldn't hear you before.
How the fuck do I leave the lobby?
You press circle, mate.
Press circle,
Oh, yeah.
say yes.
There we go.
Absolutely
Jesus.
fantastic.
I was trying to find it on the wheel.
Jesus. You know the big round thing in front of you, Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to turn it from side to side once you get on track, alright?
Yeah, I know that bit.
Oh, okay.
Spanner.
Right,
Oh, I've got an invitation.
right, now you can join.
Me too.
Oh,
Right, good luck, boys. I'll catch you later. Matt, you got my stream, yeah? Cool. God, I swear people are stupid.
Well, they join in a session, then saying, then having to say leave.
Yeah, Matt stayed in it, and every now and then it was like, someone else to join. Right, they've left. Someone else to join. I was like, for fuck's sake. Right. Plava is the only one who said he can't make it, so we should have
Alright.
a full grid.
Oh yeah, I remember Matt saying on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we're still at 4 minutes yet anyway. Right. Like I said, mate, if you see anything you think needs noting down,
Yeah.
do so. Right. I best get the drivers list up on my phone. Oh, no, don't want that, don't want that. You should be a level mic level settings to me, so hopefully they should hear you relatively well. Right, what am I looking for? Pro. That's team select. Team, that's what we want. Right, that's pretty much everyone, isn't it?
Yep.
I'll give it one more minute and then we will get going. I'll just pour myself a whiskey. Oh, fucking hell. Right, pit window is lap 4 to lap 14.
Yep.
Cool.
I've noticed something.
What?
Sutty's in my season 2, Cal.
Is he? Wait. Yeah, he is.
And Peaceful and Monkey Boy are in your season 2, Cal. First half of season 2.
Monkey Boy is, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to be live because Matt won't tell me.
It'll probably be as soon as we go on to track.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and we are live here for a brand new season, Season 6 of the GT3 Pro category. Joining me in the commentary box for this season, and a good friend of mine, a good rival as well in the past, is Big Boy Brazier. Jamie, how are you doing this evening, mate, and are you looking forward to this Pro season?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Dan. Looking very forward to this Pro season. Say there's definitely not a favourite this season, and it's kind of say multiple people who could win this title. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting season for sure, with especially like yourself and myself as well, not racing in the Pro category for this season, and it's definitely going to give these guys an opportunity to try and get some race wins and opportunities and try and score some good points. And I think there could be a couple of favourites this season, but the grid is so mixed up and so different with a hectic calendar as well we have as well. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. If you were to put money right here, right now, who would you look to your favourite?
Well, sure. So you got to look at the runner-up from for the past 2 seasons, Andy. So still in the same car, still in the same. It's the same formula that worked. Hopefully for him, he can go that one step further. Say without you in the way now, perhaps this is his chance to get his first Pro title.
Yeah, definitely so. Hello to everybody in the chat as well. Pierre Motorsport, Welshie and Disco. My laptop is freezing, so I actually can't see the chat right now. So, Jamie, if you can, you might be down to you to look at the chat. But right now, we're currently here at Sakito, aka Suzuka. And Jamie, what a famous circuit that we start at. A very... it's like I said to Matt the other night, it's very much a Marmite circuit. Some people love it, some people hate it. And... let's get your opinions on the circuit. What do you think of this track?
Yeah, so it's a very, very historic track. So we've seen quite, many years ago. I think it's 1990, 1989. Senna and Prost. What was it? No, that's the wrong Japanese track. I was thinking of Fuji then. But say Michael Schumacher winning his first title. The Ferrari around here, so there's been so many memories around here. So we haven't seen this track on the F1 calendar for quite a while.
No, we haven't gone back to Suzuka for a while. And I also remember Fernando Alonso overtaking Michael Schumacher at 130R in 2005. For me, that was an iconic moment in this track. And obviously go on.
There was also, in the same race, Raikkonen coming from 17th to overtake Fisichella on the last lap of the race for the win.
Yeah, it was an epic round, but we got to focus on the Season 6, and we're going to go through the drivers this season. We will start things off with the Audio Sport Pro Laps pairing. I'm going to read it as they come, and we have the same pairing again, once again, but a brand new car, Sati Apex and KLF 900 back once again. Audio Sport Pro Laps, running the Pro Laps name, and then running in the Lamborghini Huracan. What can these guys do in this car? Jamie, definitely a favoured car for this season. It's the hotter track, hotter season. The Lamborghini's got to be good here.
Oh yeah, it's got to be good. It's got to be good around here. So we're seeing it do quite fast lap times around here. I haven't really seen its race pace, but say we know what Sati can do in the Lamborghini runner-up season 1 in it. Yeah, he was on the pad, but he's been quite quick on it on the wheel as well. So, and at the minute, KLF's actually quicker than him. So he's gonna what a big Kelly. No, so with Sati he's been in this car for 2 seasons already. So he won't want Kelly coming straight into the car and beating him.
No, not in his car. We then go from one Italian car to another. We go to the Simplay Racing boys of Peaceful Explosion and Monkey Boy back once again in the Ferrari. Can they get to grips with this car? They've decided to ditch the yellow livery. They thought that the yellow livery was causing some issues. And I think we had no sound, but according to everyone, we do have sound now, so that's something. I think Matt forgot to unmute us again. Brilliant. But the Ferrari there of Monkey Boy in the number 2, which I believe I ran a couple of seasons back, and Peaceful in the number 0. The reason it says number 0 is because it hasn't got a number on it. So there is Peaceful. Can they get to grips with this car with the hotter conditions and the hard tyres coming into effect? Jamie, Ferrari, Peaceful and Monkey Boy, can they do anything with this car?
Well, so at the end of last season, Peaceful seemed to really get to grips with the car. So he got a podium around Nürburgring. Oh, he's dropped it there though. So he'll go back to the pits. He wants to stay out of the way. I think that's of Sutty, who's running my season 2 livery.
And just as we were about to say, Peaceful there badly taking the entry into the pits there.
Yeah, that's not the best way of going into the pits. But yeah, so even Monkey Boy was showing some good pace in the Ferrari back end of last season. So hopefully they can build on that and say Peaceful getting that podium at Nürburgring. Hopefully we can see him on the podium quite regularly this season.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully they can get the Ferrari up to grips. We then move on to the most controversial pairing of this season. Caused so much dramas when we were in the off season. We now head to, he already knows. Look at that, he already knows. We go to the Teletubby Motorsport of Fury CBK and Mazda. And in the off season, these two caused a lot of trouble in the Facebook chat and Discord, but these two have decided to pair up after meeting one another at Donington Park in the Mercedes AMG, and these two have got to be a hot favourite, Jamie. In the Mercedes, we know what Mazda can do when he actually finishes a season, and we know what Fury can do in this Mercedes, especially after he's been third place twice in a row now. Yeah,
so Fury, we know what he can do in the Mercedes. To be fair, we know what Mazda can do in the Mercedes. He's had, say, when he's appeared for races in seasons, he's done pretty well. So he almost won season 1, but as normal Mazda, he had to drop out. So he's not finished a full season yet. So this is Mazda's challenge. He's got to finish the full season. If not, if he comes back, he has got to drive the Acura.
Well, there's also a bet between myself and him. 50 quid is on the line if he actually completes the season. So we'll see if Mazda will complete the season. But we now move to the only champion left on the grid here. We go to the Jaeger Motorsport Racing of Gary131, and his brand new teammate for season 6 is Matahimovic. Your commentator you hear the most. He's gone from the Acura and he's in something a lot more beefier now. Matt in the Mercedes, Gary in the Mercedes as well. A very different car for himself. This is going to be an interesting pairing. We know what Matt can do in this Mercedes, but the question is, Jamie, can Gary work the Mercedes?
I think for the past few seasons, Gary's struggled a bit with the Porsche. Like, say, season 1, season 2 was just perfect Gary. To be fair, season 3 was a very good season for Gary. Runner up to yourself. Didn't have it all his own way, but say the past few seasons just really haven't gone his way. He's now lost his normal teammate Little Leach, who got relegated. So he decided to go with the Pro-Am champion, and say he's got a point to prove as well. Say first race in the Pro, and let's hope his back can hold out for the season. I know he's meant to miss he's meant to miss Imola due to his job. We've just lost Monkey Boy there, so hopefully he can come back in. But yeah, hopefully Matt can score some race wins.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how Matt gets on this season. Now he's got through Pro-Am, what can he do in the Pro? That is the question. And look at the lap time of the overtake already, a 1:40.7. Yeah. He is flying. And we'll go over to the overtaker. Silence of the Lambs, as Silence of the Lambos, I think that is a reference to, of the overtaker and Emo Guy, both in the Lamborghini Huracan. Now, Jamie, we've seen Emo Guy in the Lamborghini. He's very handy in this car, but we have a brand new debutant of the overtaker. What can he do here? And already he has blistering lap times. But the thing is, has he got the race pace, and can he stick it with the boys here tonight?
Yeah, that's the main thing. He can have the one lap pace all he likes when it comes down to his race pace and scoring points in the race. I think I said on Tuesday that you can You can score 1 point in qualifying. That is it. There's no point putting your sole focus on qualifying to earn a point and then messing up in the race to earn and then retiring, because say that's a race gone. So hopefully he's got the race pace. Say Emo guy, we've seen the Lamborghini before. I believe it was season 2 we've seen him in the Lamborghini with Andy. He was the last time we saw him was in the Ginetta, and I believe he took a race win in a Ginetta around Barcelona, season 3, I think that was.
I believe so. Yes, he has done in that. But
Dan just dropped his headset. We've got Monkey Boy now back in.
Sorry guys, I just did a Welsh and dropped my pad. That is your Silence of the Lambs pairing, and we now move to the Pushing Limits Racing of my old teammate D-Biggs and Argent as well. Both running cars very, very different. Biggs going back to his season 1 Audi. This is what he started off in when he joined Simplay Motorsport. He is back in the Audi once again, and Argent having to learn a brand new car all over again. He's finally got rid of the Mercedes. What can he do in the Audi here? And Jamie, this is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, no me to partner with Biggs. He's got a new teammate. He's got a new challenge ahead of him. How do you think he's going to get on in this Audi?
I think he'll get on pretty well in the Audi. Say he had a victory last race of the season in the Audi. I think in the exact livery he's in now. So hopefully he can build on what he did in the Audi before. Oh, he has a bit of a slide through turn 1, manages to hold it, but that will have ruined his lap already. But yeah, we've seen the Audi take numerous podiums and victories at Simplay. Say in the hands of myself, say Crate, Little Itch last night, D-Biggs. So we know it's a race-winning car. They've just got to get to grips quite quickly with it, and because if they don't, they're going to fall behind very, very quickly.
They are indeed. And now we come to an interesting pairing of teams. We have the baby team, the Slingshot Juniors as such, of Smoking Hot Racing, of Smoky Devil and Emprava. Emprava is sadly not able to race tonight, but he will be back next week at Road America. But Smoky Devil promoted with Emprava from Pro-Am up to Pro in the Mercedes-Benz. Jamie, what can these guys do in Pro-Am? This is a much different ball game from Pro. You yourself know that from Pro-Am it's a more easier championship. As soon as you come to Pro, the championship's a whole different ball game.
Well, say the Pro-Am I was in there, to be fair, not being harsh or anything, it was just kind of, it was me and Welshie and say DJ Phil. We were the only winners of that season. The Pro-Am that Smoky Devil, Emplava and Matt has come from, it's completely different. At least half the field could win a race in Pro-Am now, so they're going to come better prepared, I think, for the Pro than what I did from season 1.
I still think there's some really fast guys here in the Pro, and it will be difficult to even stick it up near the top with these guys, with the likes of Fury, Disco, Andy, Matt, Overtaker. All these guys are really quick. Even when Sutty and Gary are on their day, they're probably the best. Even Peaceful as well. All these guys are up there. And finally, we come to probably the hot favourites here, Slingshot Motorsport. The guys who've always put Shake and Bake under pressure. The man who always put me under pressure for the last 2 seasons. Andy and Disco are back once again in their traditional yellow BMW. And again, Jamie, these guys have got to be the hot favourites. Back in the BMW, back to something they know. Disco doing a bit of drifting. And an Audi on the
Audi off there. I think that might be Argent. That is the Sergeant.
These two have got to be the favourite for not just the teams, but also drivers with Andy, because they've been coming runner-up for the last 2 seasons, and it's now possibly their opportunity to finally be the bride instead of being the bridesmaid.
Yeah, so this is a massive opportunity for the pair. To be fair, this is kind of Disco's do or die season, really. I think. So he didn't really have the season he wanted last season. And end of the season he was up there, but he was just making too many mistakes. And if he doesn't deliver and they miss out on the constructors again, is Andy gonna be looking on the driver market to finally win the constructors? But say Disco, he was an old Iron Brew racing driver. I really want to see him do well, and hopefully he does do well. Andy though, Mr. Saturday, he might have a challenge for his for pole positions this year with Overtaker. We know Andy can pull a magic lap out from nowhere, but yeah.
He always seems to hold it. He always seems to hold it in practice. He never seems to show his true pace. And at the minute, he's 2.5 seconds off the pace. So at the minute, both of these boys not quite where we'd expect them. Disco in 4th place, so he's not too far off the pace at this stage. But the traditional.
Andy's just gone up to 3rd.
Well, there we go. Andy already proven me wrong, and according to that, he says he's got 0 litres on our screen. So. That's interesting.
Yep, he's out of fuel.
Yep, he's literally run that as dry as he possibly can, and that's the best lap time he has got. In practice, the closest lap time I could get in the Lamborghini was a 41.0, and Overtaker already smashing that in practice. He's now put full fuel in it. What can he do? But Jamie, the normal format for the pros is exactly like the Pro-Ams. The only difference is...
Overtaker's lost it there.
He's had a spin. The only difference is these guys have a pit window that they must pit under, and that is at the end of lap 4 and to the end of lap 14. They have to pit within that window. If they pit before it or after it, they have... Well, after they will be getting a penalty, but if they pit before it, they'll have to pit again, and it's definitely going to... affect them in this race. And I think, Jamie, this is going to be an epic season, especially with the calendar we got ahead. Some new circuits, some old circuits that we come to, and hopefully the weather will give some fun as well at the same time.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lot of historic tracks around on the calendar this season. So you got this, which is Suzuka. You've got Road America next week, a track we've never been to before, which from practice seems like it's a very fun circuit when you get it right. And then week after that is Imola. So yeah, definitely some very historic tracks as Sutty's put it in the wall. It keeps, I think the cameraman keeps glitching out and going to Overtaker in the pitch. You got the 2 pushing limits Audis, they're together.
And they're running together, trying to work on the draft a little bit, which would be pretty pointless here at Suzuka. But I want to say a massive good evening to everybody in the chat. Welshie, Hunter Daniel, Fury's granddad, Corey, Smithy, Disco McDisco Face, Fury's granddad, Fury's mum, or they should be Teletubby's mum, Teletubby's granddad, Carbro, Raiters, Mummy D, Nikki, Welshie, all these guys, Mike Matthews. Welcome everybody to the chat. Welcome, get your votes in on who you think is going to take the season. Jamie, I did it with Matt the other night. He couldn't give me an answer. I'm going to ask you here and right now, prediction, who's going to win the title and what team's going to win the title. Same with everybody else in the chat. Who do you think is going to take it?
At the minute, without seeing anyone's pace, it's got to be Andy. You'd put all your money on him winning this title after seeing him last season. The only thing he's got to do is just cut out those little mistakes, like we saw at Spa last race of the season. He had a few too many mistakes in him and lost. Actually, he lost 2nd place to Sutty on the podium. So if he can cut those little mistakes out, and hope, say, the warmer weather might suit the BMW a bit more. But yeah, if he can cut those mistakes out, I think he's gonna be a good shot for the title. I think Matt's gonna run him close. I'm going to throw Sutty. Oh, that's D-Big spinning. I think Sutty will run him close, and I think Mazda, as long as he stays in the same car and stays for the season, more than likely after this practice session, Mazda will be putting in the chat, can he change car?
More likely, and I will be telling him no, so he'll be...
Oh, as we've lost KLF there, as we've got 16 seconds left of practice, so Mazda's put it in the gravel, so that's he's stopped, and... Yeah, there we go. I think he's returned to the pit.
Yeah.
So there's only a few cars out on track. I think one car's just gone across the line. That is Emo Guy. He gets one more lap. So there's a car at Spoon, which is Disco. He is going to be the first one to cross the line.
He will be the first one to cross the line. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to be the winner of the season. Dell says Fury for the title this season, as a few other comments catching in as well. She says, sounds catchy, Laura. Should be Tinky Winky's mum raging about race 2, mate, says Welshie. Welshie wasn't very happy in race 2. But get your votes in on who you think is going to take the title. If it was me,
Disco dropped it through on the exit of 130R. So that's going to ruin his lap. Is he going to now practice the pit lane?
I hope he does.
He
yes.
is.
This is how the pit stop should be taken, as a little chicane, and Disco has demonstrated that perfectly. If we do catch anybody taking it wrong, we will penalise them. And it seems like every time we come to the final corner, they want to skip to the overtaker, but hopefully that will sort itself out after the practice session. But it is the overtaker who is the fastest man of the session. Fury getting within 7/10 of him.
Yeah. Who are we putting our money on for pole position then, Dan?
You can't look further than overtaker, but I feel like Fury's got more pace under the bag somewhere. But if it was, I'm going to go, do you know what? I'm going to go an outside bet. I'm going to go Fury.
Yep. I've got to say, Andy, we know what he's like in qualifying. He could be last in practice, and he'll just surprise us by putting it first. We saw it all. Probably 90% of race 1 or qualifying 1 races last season, where in the last few seconds he'll just smash a lap in. So you'd be on pole and he'll come and smash a lap in to take pole position.
So it is Overtaker who is the fastest man of the session. I thought the game had lagged out then, but Fury in second, Andy in third, Matt in fourth, and Disco in 5. Peaceful in 6. That's your top 6. And Jamie, we go into practice session. Obviously, the other talking point is tyres. What tyres are people going to be running? Softs, hards, and once again, we're looking at the Overtaker. We're meant to be looking at Peaceful Explosion. So once again, the pit lane has lagged out. We got Phil in the chat now. We've got 25 people currently watching the stream. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And if you do fancy joining in, then join on our Facebook and Discord page. And Matt, straight away, first man of the season, gets a grid penalty. Good start, Matt.
It's only a 1 place grid penalty, but he'll be a bit annoyed by that. So we know how professional Matt is, and we know that'll just annoy him just a bit. But that might push him on even more. In terms of tyres, I think really for qualifying it's got to be the soft tyre.
Yeah.
The soft tyre is very good over 1 lap. It all depends though with the Mercedes. Is that Matt now coming? No, that was Gary just trying to get through on Monkey Boy. He does so. Yes. On the Merc it might be a different story, because we know how hard the Mercedes works its tyres, so that could be hard. Could be a hard tyre. So I was doing a bit of practice a couple of nights ago, and I managed to get within a couple of tenths of a soft time on hard tyres. So with the Audi, I think if you can get the hard tyres working properly, I think it's a bit. Say you could go either, but for most cars, it's probably going to be the soft tyre.
Yeah, most likely. And the polls at the minute, 11 votes out, and it's even Stevens has been the Overtaker and Andy for pole position, 36% for both of them. Fury 27% and Matt with 0%. Especially now he has got himself a penalty. Who is the lead car?
I think Monkey Boy's just ended up on his roof there.
Well, it is Monkey Boy. He's back into the pit. So let's go on board with the Overtaker. Let's take a lap of Suzuka here. If we go on board with the Overtaker, we will go down into turn 1, breaking at the 15-meter board and getting it turned in. Nice and easy on the throttle as the Overtaker does, being patient for turn 2 and then up towards the S curves. Once we get to Spoon, Jamie, just before we get to Spoon, I'll let you carry on. But from into the right, then left. Suzuka's normally left, then right. And it's all slightly uphill as we head towards the Dunlop curve. Very easy to drop it here towards Dunlop curve, making sure you keep the car tight and into the corner and on good exit as well. As we now head towards Degner 1 and 2, we want to take as much curb as you possibly can through Degner 1, get the car settled and slowed down, ready for Degner 2 as the Overtaker slides in there and towards the hairpin he comes. And Jamie, carry on for the rest of the lap.
Yeah, he comes up the hill. You got to keep it nice and Nice tight to the right here, then still tight to the right. Just kiss the apex there, coming into spoon. Breaking kind of go. I've kind of gone up. Normally I'd go up the curb there, try not to let the rear overtake you as you go. Now head down the straight towards 130R. It's very easy to spin at the corner that overtake has just passed. And heads now down towards 130R. Little lift through 130R. Try and keep it off that exit curb. That's a very dangerous exit curb. At normal Suzuka, there's a chicane here. Little lift through there. Trying to keep it nice to the right. Going as far wide as you can. And he comes to the line, and it is a 1 minute 40.7, 6 seconds quicker than Gary at the minute. As he slides it through turn 1.
As Andy now sets a respectable lap time of 42.5. I think the others are an out lap. They went out, they came back in. So the Overtaker already setting the benchmark, a 40.7, fastest we've ever seen here at Suzuka. And Jamie, that's a stonker of a lap time already. Can these boys get any closer to him, or is Fury looking like he could do anything about that?
Yeah, Fury's got to be the one we're looking at to take the fight to overtake as he comes through 130R. How much of a lift he's going to take? I found a bit of a line through that. If you get the left front wheel on the grass, you can take a bit more speed through there. So if anyone's listening, as a little tip, it keeps going to Overtaker, who is quite a way around the circuit.
It seems to glitch out as we come to the start-finish line. So that's just a reminder not to go near the start-finish line when we're watching a car. But Fury does cross the line earlier on, and it's only 9th place, so he's only done basically a banker as such. So he's on a better
that's
lap.
Monkey Boy just running it a bit wide. Emo guy's now coming across. Will get off him. D-Biggs in third, 2 seconds off the pace.
Go on, my old Jacob Bate teammate.
Yeah, it's not been in the Audi for a very long while. That's quite good. Say, if he's able to get
he's after
probably
second as well.
Yeah, if he's able to finish the lap off well, getting the mid 42s, or even the low 42s, that'd be very good for him. Hooks a wheel onto the curb. Matt has not set a lap time yet.
He is currently on track. D-Biggs going into the final corner. We'll just keep an eye on his lap time. He was half a second up. Look at P3. Does he go to P2 with that lap time? Towards the line he comes. And he does. D-Biggs goes and does a 42.1. We know these boys can do a 41. Andy especially so. KLF currently 8th place. Kelly doing a very good job. My father doing it for Team Prolapse, and Matthew Duffin as well. So what can Kelly do? He goes through 130R. Doesn't look like he's up on this lap time, but he comes through the final corner. Sutty just ahead. Maybe Sutty can lift a little bit to give him a tow, but he's already long gone into the distance as we return back to the Overtaker, who's off apparently.
Emo guy's 3 seconds up here, so he could go put himself in the fight for pole position.
He's 3 seconds up. Yes, the Overtaker probably obviously
no, he's only 3/10 up. So I did see 3 seconds fly up, so I don't know who that was actually for, but he'd still go above Argent in the Audi and go up to 8th place, which is quite good for Emo guy, considering he's been out of it for a while. Where's Smoky Devil on track? Smoky Devil's now coming towards Stegman 1. He gets on the grass a little bit. He's got one of the Audi's behind him. He gets on the gravel. That's not going to help Smokey, and he goes even further onto the gravel, and that is his lap ruined. And that's Sutty's round. Come on, Sutty,
take at the minute.
Yes, come on, Sutty, take care of my car.
Take care of the car. Yeah, Sutty currently in P2. Matt still in 15th place at this stage, and will be starting.
Matt is 6 seconds up on his time, so this would put him in the Sutty D-Biggs Fury Disco group.
He should be just on the outskirts. I think he'll be in the Disco Fury fight, but Matt coming into the final corner. Remember, he has got a second place grid penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Matt towards the line, keep an eye on the times. Where does Matt go? He goes P6.
Goes in between and Disco and Andy, so splits the BMWs. Gary goes up to 10th, only a couple of hundredths off Emo guy. What's Fury up to? Andy has gone second now. So he's within. He is now just over a second off the Overtaker. The Overtaker looking dominant here, as we've got just under 2 minutes left of the session. Fury didn't have the best exit there. Is he going to be up on his time? No. I think this is an outlap for Fury. Let's see what is Matt Hemovich up to. Comes through Degner 2. Now coming up to what is normally at Suzuka a chicane, but yeah, there is no chicane there.
It's a hairpin normally.
Oh yes, a hairpin. Sorry. Coming up now towards Spoon.
Mazda's asked for another test session. Sadly not, mate. You're in it now. You're in the qualifying session, and he's currently down in 12th place position. And if he's just come out the pits, the guys who are leaving the pits won't get a lap time now. There's a minute left of the session. Matt exits Spoon. He heads towards 130R. D Biggs, Fury, Matt,
up.
Emo Guy, Gary, Argent, all these guys still on a good chance. Matt is up.
Yeah, Matt is 4/10 up. So again, that would put him probably, I think, just ahead of Sutty. So it would put him on the second row of the grid. We'll just cut away before it goes to the Overtaker. Go on board, Argent.
Peaceful in the chat has just said, wow, what a hard qualifying session. Only managed to get a clean lap in, and he's down in 15th place. Both Ferraris, Simplay Motorsport, down in 14th and 15th place. Matt goes third.
Yeah, Matt goes third, but will become fourth. But he's still on the second row, and he's only a couple of hundredths off Andy, so he's going to be happy with that.
Oh, it's Gary goes very wide in turn one.
Gary's session's over, so Andy's, Sutty's, Disco Smokies, Gary's, and Peaceful's sessions are over at the minute. What's Mazda up to? He's down in 12th place. Session is over. There is a car now about to enter the pit lane. There is a car now coming around the final corner, and they've gone to the pit lane. I think that might have been D Biggs. Mazda comes across.
D Biggs.
We don't see what Mazda's doing on this final time. There's a yellow outlap. Overtaker's in the pit, so he doesn't need to do any front. There we see the Overtaker. KLF is in the pits. Monkey Boy is, I think it's a last. Monkey Boy's dropped. Yeah, he's dropped it. Has Argent finished?
No, he's on a lap by the sounds of it.
Nah, he's on another lap. So Argent is going to be the last one to finish. Who else?
Fury,
Matt?
Fury and Matt is the only one still on track.
Matt is now coming down the straight. He's another 10th up, so this would actually give him third place on the grid if he can keep the time up. Ooh, he's gone a little. I'd say he's just missed the apex. Eric Degner. We'll cut away before it goes to Overtaker. We'll see what Fury's finished. Where's Argent? Argent's coming down. He's a 10th down. Is Matt going to improve? He comes towards the line. He does. He improves. He goes to second, but it will be third place on the grid for Matt. Argent doesn't look like he's going to improve, so that looks like that is the grid for race 1.
Yep, and it is the Overtaker who takes the first pole position of the season. And wow, what a qualifying lap from the Overtaker, managing to near enough be a second faster than everybody else. 8/10 in the end. Well, actually 9/10, but it is the Overtaker is your pole position, man. Matimovic would have started second, but with that grid place penalty, he will be starting third. So Andy will move up to second. Matt will start third. Fourth is Fury. Fifth is Sussy. Sixth is D Big. Seventh is Disco. Eighth is Smokey. Ninth is Argent. 10th Emo Guy. 11th is Gary 131. 12th is Mazda. 13th is KLF 900. 14th is Monkey Boy, and the Simplay Racing Boys at the back, 14th and 15th place. Not necessarily the worst place to be, but here at a place like Sakito, it's probably better to be near the front of this race. A reminder to the drivers: the pit window is end of lap 4 to the end of lap 14. Jamie, we're just in qualifying. Who is your favourite to win the race?
I'm gonna say Fury's gonna win this one.
You're gonna say Fury. I'm gonna put my money on Matimovic to take the win here. But guys, get your votes in on who you think the first winner of the season. Jamie, again, one more time, just run us through the grid car by car.
So, on pole position is Overtaker. Second is Andy. Third place, Matahimovic. Fourth is Fury. Fifth, sixth, D Biggs. Seventh, Disco. Eighth, Smoky Devil, who's done very well in this first Pro qualifying session. Argent 9th, Emo Guy 10th, Gary 11th, Mazda 12th, KLF 13th, Monkey Boy 14th, and 15th is Peaceful Explosion. Monkey Boy and Peaceful are not going to be very, very happy with that qualifying session, but I think they'll probably still be happier than Mazda and Gary, who let's be fair, know they should be up in at least the top 8.
You say that, but Gary in a car that he doesn't normally drive, and Mazda not tested enough by the sounds of things, and it's not really gone his way so far. There's a lot of votes in for Matt at the minute. They're all supporting Matt. Nikki saying, "Come on, Kelly." Fury's mum, obviously, good luck everyone, and come on, Fury. Nikki, I think Champ could win it. So there's so many people on this grid who can win it. They're getting in their final chances to set the cars up, as they are taking their time here. But 20 laps here at Suzuka.
Getting ready.
Everyone's synced up. Everyone's on the grid. The Res Rise. Here we go. First round of the season for the Pro. The lights are on, and we go here. And it seems like a very even start from most of the guys. Fury with a fairly decent start, but it is the Overtaker who will go into turn 1 ahead.
That's already done, Andy.
He's already jumped Andy. Yes, he has. But the Overtaker goes into turn
wide.
2.
So he had an abysmal start.
Gary's gone round.
That's Gary. Mazda's not had a very good start either. He's lost positions. Matt has probably had the best start. He jumped Andy. Sutty had an incredibly poor start. He got hung out to dry on the outside, and he's now behind Smoky Devil. So Sutty, hopefully he can get through quite quickly.
Whoa,
that's an Audi, and that's D-Biggs!
D-Biggs has gone round. So the Audi of D-Biggs has gone round. Sutty Apex now has moved up another place because of that. Disco is now made a position from it. Smokey right on the back of Argent right now, but Matt is also sneaking onto the back of the Overtaker. Can the Overtaker take the pressure of Matt Ahimovic in the Mercedes?
Here comes Fury on Andy.
Fury really
Andy
pressurising Andy here.
Fury to the outside at Spoon. He's going to try and look for the cutback. Andy defends quite well, but he goes D. Is Fury going to stick it up the inside? He does. There's contact.
Lap 1 of Fury and Andy coming together already.
They come back on, and Andy nearly makes contact with Argent there. Argent has to go onto the grass, but Matt and the Overtaker have got about a 4-second lead over Disco following the contact between Fury and Andy. Emo Guy has had a problem on that opening lap as well, because he's dropped behind Gary.
He has dropped behind the Gary, and we'll keep an eye on pit stops, see if anyone has come in early. But it is the Overtaker who leads this race, with Matt Ahimovic in second place position, and Sutty also moving up a couple of places. Andy and Fury once again already coming together for the start of this new season. This was the opportunity to give him some hell, but as we see there's a Ferrari down the inside of Smoky Devil.
That's Monkey Boy.
He's
kind of lost it.
Kept it together.
He gets back up the inside. Peaceful, and he runs into the back of his teammate there.
The Ferrari duo nearly hit one another. PN Motorsport would not be happy about that, but D-Biggs down the inside of Peaceful Explosion. Is he going to get the job done in turn 3?
He does. Very good move there. The Overtaker is already put a 1.2 second lead on over Matt Ahimovic. So,
well, the question
Matt's already gone.
The question is, can the Overtaker handle this pace and stick it with it throughout this race without making any mistakes? Because these two are long gone, 5.5 seconds down the road, and Disco, Fury, Argent and Andy all relatively close to one another. And the KLF done a brilliant start already up into 8th place position. He looks a lot happier in that Lamborghini than he did in the McLaren.
Yeah, he does say last season he always had very good starts. He always had a very good opening lap and just managed to pick his way through. Mazda has dropped to the back of the field already. So not the opening lap that Mazda would have wanted.
This is on the PS4 to Sam in the chat. PS4 we are running on, and Project Cars 2 as well. But KLF 900 coming up towards a 130R. We drop back to Peaceful, who's right on the back of D-Biggs. Can he find a way past the Audi? At the minute, he doesn't seem to be close enough to do it. We got a
KLF's dropped it on! Monkey Boy's flipped, I think. Who's that? There's an Audi. Oh, that's Gary's lost it.
Gary, Monkey Boy, Peaceful.
Emo Guy's got damage as well.
No, Peaceful's got out of that. So D Biggs, Argent, all these guys are coming into the pits. Monkey Boy hasn't got going.
Yeah, Monkey Boy stopped at the side of the track, so I don't really know what's going on there. Fury has now got his target locked on the other BMW Disco. D Biggs already into the pit, so unfortunately for him, he will have to stop again. I think KLF must have just dropped it on the exit curb of 130 as he goes wide again. Has he got? Yeah, he's got damage. Is he just trying to make it to the end of lap 4? And Monkey Boy's disconnected.
So Monkey Boy disconnected. We'll have to check on that, see if it was sustainable damage. So Monkey Boy, sad to see him out of the race already. Car looked like it was completely destroyed though. But Biggs into the pits after that. Sutty on the back of the Argent. At this stage, Argent has had a very good start in that Audi, minding his own business. And Emo Guy just getting onto the back of KLF 900. 2 Lamborghinis on track together. Matt just lost the pace now to the Overtaker. The Overtaker extending his gap.
Argent's round is just as you say, he's kept it nice and clean. He's dropped it on the exit spoon. Peaceful comes past him for 8th place. So Argent drops back down the field even more. Emo Guy's dropped it as well, and Mazda takes avoiding action. A lot of people dropping it on that exit curb. He's just got to stay out of the way of Gary. Gary comes past him nice and cleanly. Argent on the back of Peaceful. Peaceful gets up on the sausage curb. That's not where you want to be. As we go, yeah, we head to the Overtaker. Fury sideways around turn 2. That's not going to help him in terms of catching Disco. Disco's keeping it nice and tidy, and that's unlike he did last season.
The shot for me at the minute is Andy, currently down in 6th place position behind Sutty Apex, and looked like he's got a little bit of pressure from Smoky Devil coming up behind him. So Andy, maybe not enough preparation this season, and he's just not seeming to be up with the pace that the normal guys are. Sutty, Fury, Disco, Matt and Overtaker are long gone ahead of him, and not the start that Andy probably would have wanted.
Sutty just touched the gravel there. That's once again not going to help him, and he looks really slow there. I think Andy must have a bit of front aero damage. There's a little bit of damage on that front bumper. That's not going to help him in his straight line speed. So we saw last season at Spa he had some aero damage and just couldn't keep up with himself. So we know how bad the aero damage is, but then say the BMW must struggle with it a lot.
KLF and Mazda are very close. They're actually swapping positions right now. Mazda moved up into 10th place position and has got himself ahead of KLF. KLF still struggling with that damage, but it is now a lap 4 and the pit window is now open. And the Overtaker choosing not to pit. Matt, neither. Disco and Fury are currently down.
Fury's come in.
Fury is in. So Fury is the first man to pit within the window. So Fury ticked off. As have we got a few others coming in. Sutty, he decides to carry on. Andy, what does Andy chose to do? He's carrying on. So is Smokey. So is Peaceful.
Argent stays on Maz.
It's just Fury so far.
I imagine we'll probably see KLF come into the pits, because I think that is what he was waiting for. D Biggs is a lap down already. Yep, KLF is coming into the pits. Yep. There you go. Emo Guy carries on, and is Gary going to carry on? Yes, he does. So KLF will drop down to 13th. I think Fury is also going to drop behind Gary down to 12th. Andy kind of not really gaining on the back of. So he gained that little bit, and then gone.
He doesn't seem to have any pace, Andy. He just seems very slow. He just doesn't have any performance at all. He just doesn't seem the Andy that we know from season 4 and 5.
Yeah, I wonder. It could be the weather conditions. Fury is now all over the back of Gary after his pit stop.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah, he actually gained right on the back of Sutty, and then he's just dropped off him again. If you look at the lap times as well, Andy was 1.1 quicker than him last lap. But you look at the Overtaker. Overtaker was all Fury, got on the gravel, keep it. He was 1.6 quicker than Matt.
Fury looking around the outside of the hairpin section, but can't get the job done. Gary with a poor exit, so Fury could have a good run up into Spoon. He just needs to stay in the toe. It's going to be a very late break if he chooses to do so, but he ain't going to. He has to wait a little bit longer. Sorry, Jamie, it looked like he was sizing him up there.
Yeah, he did. I think Fury has to... Fury, you need to remember... Oh, Fury's had a little wiggle there. He's kept it together. I think Fury also needs to realise he's not in a touring car tonight. he can't give someone a tap in the rear quarter and open the door, because that's not how the GT3s work. He takes a bit of grass there, trying to get a bit. Emogo comes into the pits. Oh, I think Gary had to get off the throttle there a bit. Peaceful all over the back of Smoke. He will go back to Fury and Gary in a minute.
I'll go back to them now. They should be down to turn 1 now. So Fury right on the back of Gary. He looks down the inside, and they're in a car that Fury knows best, and he has a big wiggle again. But Gary's gone round.
Lost it.
Fury aids him round, but Gary gone all on his own there. And Fury just gives him a little tap to help him round. So Fury.
What's happened to the Overtaker? Because the gap was 4 seconds. Matt has closed that by half a second within a lap. That's it. Oh no, now goes back. But you still gained 3 seconds or 3/10.
Well, he's 1.6 slow off its pace, and we know his pace was quick anyway. But the Overtaker currently in the 42s, the only man in the 42s, and he is very comfortable at the minute. Matt just running the curb a little bit in the background, but Matt saying to us before the start of the session that this was not going to be his circuit. He does not like Sakito whatsoever, and already he's on the back of the leader of the Overtaker. Well, I say on the back, he's about 5 seconds off the back of the Overtaker.
Yeah, the Overtaker's had a bit of a poorer lap that last lap. Look, a 43.4, so he's
Peaceful going very wide.
Yeah, if Peaceful's trying to catch the Mercedes in a straight line, that's not going to work very well for him. Gary is now behind. I think that is D Biggs, who is a lap down. He doesn't have to get out of the way. Peaceful looking again on Smoky Devil.
The problem here at Sakito is that there's no real overtaking opportunity. Probably turn 1 is probably your best bet, and really Spoon as well is the only other really good opportunity. And if you're very lucky, maybe the Degners, but that's really it. Everywhere else is such a struggle to find a way past.
It all depends how much you trust in the car and how much you trust in the person you're racing, because you could overtake him though in that first sector. You've just got to trust the person in front of you a lot, not to just push you onto the gravel.
Well, so far there's still a lot of people still yet to pit, which is a surprise. Lap 14 is when the pit window closes, so they've got 7 more laps out on track, and they will have to come into the pits. Currently Andy now ahead of Disco, so Disco's made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped down a 1 minute 50.9. Yeah,
150. Smoky goes wide. Is this Peaceful's opportunity? No, it's not. Peaceful's now going to try and get in the slipstream. They need to be careful here because the Audi of Arjun is slowly closing behind, and so we saw the pace of the Audi last night from Bryn and Little each. So Arjun must feel confident that he's got pace in that car. I think Matt has made a mistake because the gap is up to 6 seconds.
Smokey went wide through 130R, and
Disco's come into the pits.
That is Disco into the pits. Another pit stop done as lap 14 is the pit window, and Disco gets his pit stop done. Matt, I just think he's just had a poor lap, while the Overtaker's just nailed it.
44.9. The Overtaker was 2.1 seconds quicker that lap. Arjun's now done Peaceful, so
Peaceful's made a mistake by the looks of things. He looked like he's come off the grass and back on track, so he's probably tried overtaking Smokey and has made a mistake. So Peaceful drops down behind Arjun. It's not doom and gloom yet, but he's still in the top 7. Mazda in 8th place position. What has happened to Mazda and all these guys as Mazda has gone wide?
He's letting Fury through that. That just seemed really slow there from Mazda. He lets Fury through, but that was for position, so they might have been, to be fair, they might have been team orders. I remember they are teammates.
They are teammates, and Fury has pitted. Mazda still yet to pit, so he just seems to be struggling. Disco has pitted. He's on the back of Gary, and Gary making mistakes also. But your big losers at the minute is Emo Guy, KLF, and D Biggs. Even though Emo Guy has pitted, so he's got his pit stop done and out the way. We're still waiting for most of the guys to get their pit stops done as we now go on to lap 9. The overtaker starts lap 9.
Oh, Disco got a bit wide down. He's now lost a bit of time to Gary. So being stuck behind the Mercedes, he's losing time to his teammate. I know Andy was in front, but say Disco could be trying the undercut here on Andy. It's early in this. He's gone wide there.
There's a
Has
car.
he got a problem with the car?
There's a car coming into the pits. I believe it is Peaceful Explosion. It is.
Yeah,
Peaceful.
it is. He got out the dirty area of Argent and Smokey and I'll let Argent attack Smokey. Smokey is doing very well on his pro debut. He did very well in the touring cars Tuesday night. So yeah, Smokey looks like a driver on the up. Oh, Argent went a little bit wide there. Where's Peaceful's now on his way out of the pits, I think.
Yeah, he's
We
should be exiting the pits.
can't
There
really
he is.
see because it keeps going to overtake. I can see the dot now on the move.
How long is it to pit stop, Dan? It's roughly about 30 seconds a pit stop. So
Look at Fury last lap, 42.2. He was quicker than the overtaker. So I reckon if he hadn't had that contact with Andy, he would be right up there. So hopefully for race 2, we can see the battle between Overtaker and Fury.
Fury's worst enemy is himself. He knows he has the pace, he knows he has the consistency, and he's got the racecraft when it comes to it. He just beats himself up too much, and when he is on it, he is probably one of the best on track. And Fury showing what pace he actually has. Overtaker, Matt, and Sutty all in the 43. Sutty's
Argent's done
lap time.
Smokey.
Argent has done Smokey, so Smokey made a mistake somewhere. Argent now upper place. These guys all still yet to pit. Lap 10 we're now on, and they've only got 4 more laps until the pit window will close, so they're all going as late as possible.
I think Smokey. Yeah, I think he went to go for the pits and then realised he'd missed the pit entrance. Disco's still behind Gary here, so he's not got past and he's stuck there. Last lap, 1 minute 50. Mazda 159. Smokey must have definitely made a mistake. 148 last lap. Let's see, what is Fury's pace?
He tried to get into the pits, didn't he? And obviously had to massively lift and decided, well, actually, hang on, I can't get in the pits this way. I've got to keep going. So Fury now, eventually, when Smokey pits, that'll be another car out of his way. Argent surely to pit soon as well. The Overtaker and Matt matching lap time. Sutty isn't actually too far off the pace either. So the Overtaker coming down the back straight towards 130R. Will he pit? He will have to do a pit stop soon.
Yeah, or he will face the wrath of the stewards. Hopefully he's read the rules and regs. Is he going to come into the pits this time? No,
Definitely
he's
not.
going to continue on. Is Matt going to come in? Matt comes through 130R. Matt looks a bit... Matt's coming into the pits this time.
Matt is into the pits.
Right.
So
What's
that
Sutty going to do?
his
Is Sutty going to follow him in, or is Sutty going to continue on for one more lap? Sutty he's had a slide! Oh, he spun it! Where's
He hasn't hit the
Andy?
wall.
Andy
He hasn't hit a wall. That's the main thing. He hasn't hit a wall. He's got it going. He's
Here
allowed
comes
Kelly
Andy
through.
though. Andy comes through and overtakes him.
Andy's into the pits.
Sutty's got to be in as well. Sutty does come in, so he follows Andy into the pits. Where's Smokey? Smokey comes through 130R. He comes into the pits. Monkey Boy has now rejoined.
They're all starting to come in now. Smokey Devil
Argent
into
as
the
well.
pits. Argent's in. Everyone's in.
Fury will continue on. Matt's on his way out of the pits already, so he's kept that second place. Where's Fury? Fury is only a few seconds back, so Matt has now got a challenge on his hands for
Fury's
second place.
last lap, 42.7. Fury is now hunting him down. 3 seconds is the gap between him and Matt, and that is doable. Mazda now up in the 4th place.
What's happened to Andy? Look, Andy's dropped a note. He's dropped well behind at the pit stop. He's dropped behind Sutty, Smokey, Argent.
Where is Andy? Is he still mobile? He's still stuck. so he's not moving. The car's not moving, so obviously we can't tell. The overtaker is obviously taking over here.
Yeah,
tonight,
look,
quite
he's
literally.
dropped to 11th. So has he been? Has everyone coming into the pits trapped him? And he's not moving yet, is he?
I don't know. Go on board with him or something like that. See if we can see him on board.
No, he's not moving.
at all.
Has he got?
No.
Has he got suspension damage? KLF could come. KLF has just coming down towards 130R. Is Andy away yet? No, he is.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
away
Now he
now.
is.
He's
Has he
away
left his
now.
radiator open? Has he shut his radiator and got engine damage? That's my only other option. So we're still waiting on Monkey Boy, obviously disconnected. We're still waiting on Gary
Where's
Mazda.
Kelly? I think Kelly's going to do Andy here. Kelly at full throttle. Where's Andy?
He's already out. Andy's down the straight.
Andy's gone. Andy's gone.
So Andy already down into turn 1. KLF not quite able to catch on the back of Andy, but a horrible pit stop there for Andy. Has he
Fury
got down?
spun! Fury
Fury's made a
spun on the
mistake.
exit of 130R! He's lost all that time to Matt. Where is Mazda? Mazda's slow coming, a bit slower coming through 130R. He must be coming into the pits this time. No, he
he's carrying
continues on.
The
What about
overtaker,
Gary?
the overtaker's going to run out of time in a minute. So lap 12, he starts. Gary goes through. He hasn't pitted. Sutty goes through. Sutty looking good at the minute to possibly get a podium if Fury keeps making these mistakes.
Smokey ahead of Argent. So back where they were. Argent.
Peaceful hasn't got quite as close. He's pretty much lost out. Andy, has he had another off? He's got more damage to that car.
Yeah, he has, and Kelly's so much closer to him now.
The hot favourite for the championship, and he is making a mistake here at Sekito. What is going wrong for Andy here? It's not going his way so far. The overtaker carries on through.
Has Fury made another mistake? Overtaker's now coming to the pits. I think Fury's made another. I think he's made another mistake because Mazda wasn't that close to him.
Well, he's now 12 seconds behind him, Matt, and he was behind him by 3 seconds, so he's lost 9 seconds overall. Matt going into Spoon, the overtaker currently in pits at the minute. D Biggs has served his pit stop. We are just waiting for Gary and Mazda, and they're probably going to wait till the very last moment. And
Gary's just dropped it. Can he get? Oh, he's kept it out of the wall somehow.
He's done a very good job of keeping out the wall. Where's Matt?
Gary might need a change of underpants after that. Matt comes through the final corner. Overtaker is already at turn 1, so he hasn't jumped in. Matt knocks over a cone as well. Yep. There is Overtaker. He's at turn 1. Matt is halfway down the pit straight. Disco now side by side with Gary towards 130R.
Oh, this should be spicy.
The brunt of the Mercedes.
Again.
Yeah.
Oh, they get very close.
How many flashes was that, Disco?
I think that was 2 flashes.
Yeah.
Oh, multiple flashes there. Disco, you really need to calm those flashing down. We've made a rule now that excessive flashing will be penalised.
Disco, you naughty boy.
You very naughty boy. As Overtaker go into the Degners with a comfortable lead of 8 seconds.
This is Kelly in front of him.
Yeah, how easy is Kelly going to make this? Is he just going to move to one side, or is Kelly just going to focus on his race? Currently, he's way off the back of Emo Guy, so he's just out there testing now. And the man who chose this circuit as well was Kelly.
Yeah, Disco still trying to find a way past that Mercedes. We've seen Gary's got a mistake in him. He probably needs a clean pair of underpants after his spin. Disco's going to try around the outside, coming towards Degner 1. That's not really going to work. Gary gives him the cut off.
He was the lead car. He was able to do that, so Gary did have the right to be there. Gary still holds on to that position. We're still waiting for Gary and Mazda to come into the pits. Mazda going as long as he possibly can, hoping for accidents. And what a great race we're having so far, but the Overtaker absolutely destroying it right now. With Disco down the inside, he's going to have a look.
Inside.
Oh,
He's dropped it.
Disco trying to go down the inside of Gary 131
And
into Spoon.
Smokey and Argent. Is Argent going to get through? I think Is Argent going to get through? Yep, he does. So Argent, Smokey up to 7th, Argent up to 8th.
To see the lap times coming in. The Overtaker 48.1. Obviously, that's his out lap. Matt a 43.2. Fury back in the 43.0.
Yeah, 43 dead. The only problem is there's 7 laps left and he's only 2/10 quicker. Gary looks like Gary's dropped it on the way into the pits. Gary!
No, Gary, he is now into the pits. All that hard work of running out as late as he possibly can. He drops it and is into the pits. Could he end up like his brother and getting relegated down to Pro-Am? At this rate, it's not looking good for him. Emo guy will go past now. Will KLF catch him? That is the question. Where is KLF on track?
I tell you what, Arjun is looking very composed in that Audi tonight. Normally we say once he gets to attacking someone, he normally loses his cool a bit, or is defending from someone. He spins or whatever. But
where is Mazda on track? We need to keep an eye on him. This is the lap he needs to pit. He's the only one who hasn't pitted. He's currently coming towards Spoon. We'll keep an eye if Mazda comes into the pits. He's currently lap D Biggs just behind him, and if he's managed to do this, he was, what, 30 seconds, so it should put him between Peaceful and Emo Guy.
Yeah, hope.
So, Mazda,
what's happened? Has Overtaker made a mistake, or he's done a 45.6 that last lap? Matt has closed
Where
him.
is the Overtaker? Where is he? We'll come back to Mazda. We'll see.
I wonder whether he's been trying to lap Kelly.
Possibly so. Mazda, is he going into the pits? I believe he is. Or has he dropped it? He's dropped it.
He's dropped it on. He must have dropped it on the curb, or has he dropped it on the exit in? Sutty comes flying past. Smokey should come flying past. There's the Audi of Arjun behind. The Disco BMW in 8th. Where is Mazda now going?
He's going to drop behind. Surely behind Emo Guy now. Where is Emo Guy on track? He should be.
Emo Guy is coming towards 130 like he did last season. Or in the Mercedes. He looks very cool and composed. I know he's been on another league doing a lot of race runs in race type situations. So hopefully for him that's helped him. Fury is about 10 seconds behind Matt as we cut to the Overtaker again.
The Overtaker and Matt are now matching lap times. If the Overtaker can keep it on the track, he should be able to get an easy win as Kelly allows Matthew Duffin through. So Arjun now under pressure from Disco, but he's putting pressure on Smokey. Smokey trying to do a... Can you hear me, Jamie?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, I just had a message saying my internet connection quality isn't great, so this is great. I'm hoping everyone can still see the stream, everyone can still hear me loud and clear. Just hang on for 4 more laps, internet, please.
It's normally that's me saying that.
I don't know what's been going on.
Oh, Matt's dropped it!
Matt has made a mistake. Where is Fury? Fury is not really close enough to capitalise.
Yeah, he's too far behind to capitalise. Matt's now dropped to 8 seconds back, so he's not going to be happy with that mistake at all. He'll probably be happy with the 2nd place. At the end of the day, he gets the points for 2nd place, but he's just not going to be happy with the mistake. I think Disco might have made a mistake because he's now dropped to 1.3 behind Arjun.
Yeah, so Disco not able to capitalise on Arjun, pressurises Smokey. Smokey seems to be struggling in this later after Mercedes boys all seem to be struggling with pace. Fury's last lap of 42.2. Fury is flying, but has he run out of time? That is the question to catch Matahimovic. But these guys are on their way towards the end of this race, and it's still the Overtaker with quite a demanding lead out in front.
Yeah, Arjun will be able to paint a picture with his eyes closed of the back of that Mercedes. He's been there for about half the race now. Smokey runs. No, he's running. I think that's just his normal line, running it onto the curb. I tell you what, Overtaker, Matt and Fury have so far ahead of Sutty. They could all 3 of them could sit there, have a cup of tea, and would probably still get in front. Smokey keeps it.
He's going to have to lift a little bit.
Yeah, touches the grass there. Arjun runs it wide. The only problem for Arjun is Smokey made a mistake, but that Mercedes just got so much power in a straight line that he's just not able to do it.
A little bit there.
Yeah, weaving a little bit just to break the slipstream. You don't want to make too many direction changes.
Yeah, Argent really wasn't close enough to really make any attack, but he's kind of compromised himself. He messed up the entry into turn 1, and it's really only compromised his line rather than Argent trying to benefit from the toe. And with that Mercedes front, the Audi really has no answer to the Mercedes. The Audi seems to be a lot better through turn the first sector and the second sector. Third sector, the Mercedes is dominant.
Yeah, the Mercedes is very dominant in the straight lines. That's when Argent chose this car. He said he came to me asking what's the Audi. Oh, he's dropped it! No! Keep it.
That's giving Disco a position. So Disco...
Where's Peaceful? Peaceful's dropped it as well! Emo goes up to 8th. Yeah, as I was saying, the Audi's very good, very good off the corners. That's what I was saying to Argent to capitalise when he asked me about where the Audi was good. Around Road America next week, it should be quite good. But who's he now got behind him? Is that Andy behind him? That is Andy down in 13th. I mean, he's not going to catch Kelly. Kelly 42 seconds in front, and he's not going to lose a position to D-Biggs, because D-Biggs is...
The problem is here, right, Andy has the pace to run at the front, he's just hasn't had the luck. He's done a 43.2, just as quick as the leaders, and he's just not there. Fury, once again, 42.6, he's slowly bringing that gap down, he's got traffic.
Gets through on KLF, he's 5 seconds away from that, but the only problem for Fury is, we're on lap 18. Oh, it's glitched out again.
Has Emplava's managed to join us?
We've now got Emplava, so we should have a full grid for the second race. So that's great. That is great to see. Yeah, the only problem for Fury is he's run out of laps. Unless Matt drops it, he is not going to catch Matt.
And we know that Matt seems to struggle with endurance, especially with his leg and back, but we will see. Fury needs to just put the pressure on. Obviously Matt should be fine for race 1, but race 2 he should struggle. Reminder to the guys, as there was 15 cars, the top 7 will not be able to qualify. So Overtaker, Matt, Fury, Sutty, Smokey, Disco and Argent all at the minute will not be able to qualify for race 2. And at the minute, the Overtaker, what a dominant race so far, as Fury comes through the final few corners, and he looks like he is on a flyer again. 44.0 from Matt. Fury towards the line. What is he going to do? He crosses the line now, or does he? No, waiting. Has he made a mistake? Or he must have gone across. Oh, Gary, big off. Ooh. Big off as he's trying to pass Mazda, and in the wall he goes. Fury with a 42.7 is his best, so he is catching Matt. But he's running out of time. There's the Overtaker. Can the Overtaker clear Gary, or is he just going to hold him up a little bit? Overtaker just taking his time. He's in no rush to pass him. As Gary, I think, is just holding him up a little bit again. The Overtaker really slow behind him. Gary really holding him up here. Overtaker really cautious of that Mercedes.
Yeah, he's now... Overtaker's now gone through. The only problem being a newcomer is you don't know how all these people race. We know Gary is one of the cleanest people out there, but Overtaker doesn't know what Gary's like. After all, Overtaker might think that Gary could plough into the side of him, being Matt's teammate, but as we all know, Gary is not the sort of person to do that. The gap from Matt to Fury runs a little wide. It's 3.7 seconds with a one and a bit lap to go.
Fury setting his fastest laps of this race. Matt is slowly being caught, but it's not going to be enough for Fury. He's just left it too little too late. If he had left Andy alone in lap 1, we could be talking to him possibly chasing down the Overtaker, because the Overtaker has gone into cruise mode by the looks of things, and he looks like he is on his way to take his first win here at Simplane Motorsport. But Fury is trying to bring that gap down to Matt as quickly as he possibly can. Another 42 from Fury. He's just banging those lap times in.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely smashing them in. The gap is 3.5 seconds. It's just too little, too late. It's Matt has closed a little bit on the Overtaker, or his Overtaker just put it into like fourth gear and just cruising home for this victory.
Just having a message from Monkey Boy saying Peaceful's asked if it should be top 8. I think it should be appendix about it. I believe, yeah. Well, the thing is, 15 cars started, so
yeah, it was 15 cars starting the first race. I think it's how many cars start the first race. So it would be.
I will double check the rules a minute,
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's how many cars started. But I believe it will be 7. But where is the overtaker? Where is he on track? We need to cut to him because he's coming
down towards
to
130R.
This man, what a start already to the season. He comes towards 130R. He put it on pole position. He's going to make it a grand slam here so far for the first race. Pole position and into the final corner he goes. He takes the win here at Sakito. First round goes to him. Well done to the overtaker. He will take the win. Where is Matahimovic? He will come through the final corner. He will take a second place, but with Fury breathing down his neck towards the end. So Fury will come home in third place position. Where is Sutty Apex? He's a long way back. He is now towards Spoon. And off he comes towards Spoon. Towards 130R, sorry.
Disco's got on the back of Smoky Devil, but again, it's too little too late. Look at Fury on that last lap, 41.9. He was pushing that Mercedes like it's never been pushed before. Disco, there's no point pushing now. Sutty comes over the line for 4th. Smoky now coming across the line, 5th place in his first race for the Pro. I think that's D Biggs in front. That is. Smoky comes across the line 5th. Disco 6th. Argent 7th. There's a lap car ahead, which is Andy. What a dismal race for this man.
Yeah, what a dismal start for his season already as he starts his campaign, and at this minute he will be able to qualify for the next race, but not the best start for him. I'm looking at the rules. It is 16, 15, top 8 may not be able to qualify. So Overtaker, Matt, Fury, Sutty, Smoky, Disco, Argent, and Emo Guy. All these guys are unable to qualify for the next race. So Peaceful, Mazda, Gary, KLF, Andy, D-Biggs, Monkey Boy, and N Plava, who managed to get in, will all be able to qualify for your race. And that is your first race done for this one. And
fastest lap looks like that goes to the Overtaker with a 41.7.
What a grand slam that is for him. Overtaker taking fastest lap, pole position, and the race win. Jamie, run us through the order a minute.
So our winner, Overtaker 99, first race here at Simplay and wins it. Second place, Matahimovic. Third place, Fury. 4th, Sutty Apex. 5th in his first race in the Pro, Smoky Devil. 6th place, Disco. 7th, Argent, the top Audi. 8th place, Emo Guy on his return. Peaceful in 9th. Mazda, a disappointing 10th. Gary, as well, disappointing in 11th. KLF, after the massive damage early on, 12th. Andy, what a poor race for the runner-up last season, 13th. And D Biggs, I think he was caught up in the KLF incident, a lap down in 14th.
Well, that is your finishing order for race 1. Make sure you tune in about 10 minutes time, as we will be back on track for race 2. Reminder, the top 8 will not be able to qualify. Overtaker, Matt, Fury, Sutty, Smoky, Disco, Argent, and Emo Guy will not be able to qualify. We'll be back momentarily for the second qualifying session, and hopefully the top 3 in for a chat. But grab a drink, grab some snacks, and we'll be with you momentarily. Right, let's get this going. Let's make sure I've set this correctly.
I'll invite them 3 in.
Yeah. Thank you, mate.
Christ, I don't think I've ever talked that much.
Yeah, I
in
couldn't,
commentary.
I couldn't get a fucking word in.
Well, they'll say normally, mum, because say mum's here, she'd come up and like she'd tell me shut up, pretty much like every time.
Yeah.
Who was it? Third Fury.
Yeah, so it's Fury, Overtaker, and Matt. I'm going to go for a quick piss.
Yeah. Matthew?
Is it top 8? I thought it was top 7.
I thought it was top 7, but apparently Dan read it was top 8.
I just quickly read the rules. If it's 15, 16 cars, it's top 8, can't qualify. Tried to do the race on softs. This track kills him, and 2 laps, no chicane. Well done, top 3. Andy was on the softs. What a madman. Right, I'm going to go for a piss.
Well done, Andy.
Oh yeah, top 8. Yeah, I'm in for a piss as well.
I'll go for a piss as well.
One more lap, you stanky leg.
Oh yeah.
Who was that? I was not Dan.
That's me.
I was about to say that. That wasn't a Hoya from.
That weren't a Dan Davis Hoya. That was a Norfolk Hoya.
Where is he?
Yeah, decent takes there, Fury.
Fucking Tinky Winky's the only Teletubby that can race, apparently.
Yeah. I did say in practice, I said Mazda will want to change
Who are we
cars after
missing?
this.
Who are we missing?
Overtaker.
Oh.
Dipshit law
No, he's
loser
in.
and
He's
fucking
in.
potato fucking brain. Can't do that apart from a Tinky Winky.
Matt, Gary, Monkey Boy, Emo Guy, D Biggs,
Matt,
Peaceful,
2 more laps. I think I would
Barber,
have liked it.
Smokey,
I was
Fury,
cruising, mate.
KLF,
I mean, back
Sutty,
started hurting.
Mazda, Arjun, Overtaker,
Pulling
Andy.
that one out of the bag, are you?
Disco we're missing.
Yeah, no, I've been stiff all day, mate.
Alright.
So I've tried not to do a lot.
Oh, then I'll be back.
Well done, Matt.
Just some poetry, man. Thank you very much, buddy. But you didn't expect that one, did you?
Did you not hear
What a-
Did you not hear the stream?
No, I won't watch it back till tomorrow.
I put you as the driver to win, actually.
Oh, thank you very much. Not a chance though with that pace from Overtaker. He is.
Fury, you're an idiot.
What?
If you hadn't hit Andy, you probably would have beaten Matt.
It's not my fault. Andy had to go out wide, clip the curb, and came across my front end.
You didn't have to go up the inside of him.
Shit.
Hey, I made him
I
mistake.
gotta say, Matt, you were lucky as fuck to get through all of that.
When? At the start of the race?
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
Fury was going to come down you inside.
Every time I've done turn 1 in practice, I've gone wide. Mate, quality, you couldn't make quality up, mate. So it comes out of the pits.
Gone.
Nah, well, yeah, that. But then it comes out of the pits, drops down them little bumps, and I fucking hit me. I didn't hit my limiter, did I? So it gave me a speeding in the pit lane penalty.
You penis. That's
And
what
then it comes round
what pole.
Yeah. Comes round fucking 130R, fucking Monkey Boy spin. No, spoon, Monkey Boy span. Oh, for fuck's sake, clipped him. And then it comes round 130R, Gary drops it, so I've hit him. I'm like, oh my days. Yeah, no worries. I'm like, oh my days, 5 minutes in, I've hit 2 cars, I've had to pit both times. Right, we're all in, we're all ready to go. Bar Jamie's not here.
Mazda just asked me a really weird question.
Mazda, can I quit?
No. Do I have to qualify?
Yes. He has to set a time. He has to be in front of the top 8. That's the thing.
I know what he's trying to do.
He's already fucking throwing in the towel, that is, isn't it?
I know his plan because he was talking to me about it in quality 1 as
Not
well.
qualify, let everybody go and bolt up.
Yeah, that's basically it.
What happened to Monkey Boy, by the way?
I think Kelly dropped it and Monkey Boy crashed into him and then he ended up on his roof and the car was completely destroyed.
No reset button.
No, I think the car was fucked. Basically, it was in a barrier. No rear wing, no nothing. Once Jamie's back, we'll go. I don't think Overtaker's going to join us because I think he's Croatian by the looks of his thing, so he probably doesn't know English very well. So
I ought to practice a South African accent, hadn't I?
For what?
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No.
Come on.
Let's not be silly.
Come on.
No. I have to practice.
Don't be a fanny. Do it.
Right, that's
Andy
it.
was Andy was poor, wasn't he?
poor.
What isn't he?
Last
I sat
season.
on my stream. Sat on my stream and went, the guy who pushed Dan all the way to the season, I've just lapped.
I mean, I'm going to arguably say that I was watching Overtaker's pace and I was matching him in the Lamborghini, so...
That thing's quick. He's
It is quick. Why do you think I was in it?
He's quick.
I arguably think that Lamborghini is going to be the car I'll be in this season.
Lamborghini or the Merc, I think he's just a good driver as well. I think he's... some are in it, some are mums. The Merc or the Lamb.
Look at his rating.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I think he's
You really got to look at his
me
ratings.
and him
see
are
how
the only
fucking
one in
good
the
he is.
17,000s.
Did you see that? Did you see that JM Grills last night?
Yeah, he's 17,000.
1800.
Yeah. Come on, Jamie.
Mate,
Where
that's-
are you, mate?
All that is, he's just beating people that might have a decent rating, but
Do you know what?
do
Actually,
you know what I mean?
once Jamie's... come on, Jamie. Hurry up, mate.
By the way, did you get a word in that commentary?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so. I still need to do another 16,000 kilometres.
Come on, Jamie. Actually, do you know what? I might just start it and just do the interviews.
Yeah, we might be sat watching someone in the pits, but yeah. Because otherwise, it's just going to take forever.
Yeah. Fuck it.
We was questioning if Overtaker had read the rules and regs or not a couple of times.
He had, though, by the looks of things.
Yeah, well, we didn't know if he were going to pit, and then he pitted lap 12 as we said that, and then he was behind Kelly, and Kelly was like, how many flashes can you not do? I said, I think the rule says don't overly excessive. He says, because he is flashing the shit out of me when he was trying to lap Kelly.
Right.
So we're not sure if he's understands fully the blue flag rule for the GTs.
Right.
Just start talking, by the way, when it changes.
Yeah.
I was flashing Kelly, but I didn't flash him a lot. I flashed him once he pulled out, and then I flashed
It's
him.
more like aggressive flashing is what we don't want, basically.
No, I just flashed, like, you know, the friendly flash, like, hey, I'm
Yeah. Right, we're about to go live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. We've just had race 1 done of the pros. We've currently got 2 of the top 3, and I don't think Overtaker is going to join us. But we've got Fury and Matt with us. Just before we go on to to the interviews, I'm trying to get the race results back because my phone won't let me. But at the minute, the Overtaker, Matimovic, Fury, Sutty, Smokey, Disco, Argent, and Emo Guy cannot qualify for this race. So we now go to 2 of the top 3, and we'll start with Fury. Fury, a race that could have been more, to be honest. Just a bad start of the race. You could tangle with Andy, and at that point, you were just playing catch up with Matt and the Overtaker.
Yeah, I had some front end damage that was hindering my cornering and a bit of the top speed, so I was losing out to Disco even when I was in the slipstream. But
yeah.
After the pit, it just felt a lot better.
Yeah, it definitely seems like, other than Matt as well, you two seem to be the best Mercedes drivers currently out on track. And how are you finding the Mercedes at Sakito? It's obviously very much a downforce and chassis circuit, and obviously the Mercedes advantage is in its power. How are you finding it here?
It's actually a lot better than people would expect. It's just, obviously, like you said, it's got more power than anything, so it likes to kick it out every now and again. Yeah. And I figured that out when I went around 130R.
With the obviously with the highs of winning a touring car race and obviously taking 4th place in the second race as well, your driving is improving every time we see you, and another P3 here, constantly on the podium. Do you think this is your season to win pro? Do you think that the touring cars is giving you that extra driving experience and knowledge to finally win the pro championship?
Obviously there's a lot of quick guys in pro, like a load, compared to obviously over the couple of last seasons there's been like sort of half, and you know, like no disrespect, but there's always been sort of like the top, like end of pro and then the bottom lot of pro.
Yeah.
And it's always, obviously, second races, it's the reverse grid, so it's hard to get through, but hopefully, obviously, keep going. And Overtaker and Matt are going to make it hard, I can tell already, to try and win the pro, but I'm going to try my best and just see where it goes.
Obviously, you will be starting further down the grid. It looks like you're going to be one of the more further forward guys in the order, but in the reverse grid, what can you do, mate?
Hopefully get a good start, avoid any confrontation like I had race 1, and keep pumping in those 42s.
Well, good luck for the race, mate, and we'll see you out on track in a moment's time.
Cheers, mate. See ya.
And we now move on to the second place man, and you're defending, or won't be defending it, but your Pro-Am champion from season 5, Matt. You're on the podium in the first round on a circuit that you told me and Jamie and a bunch of others that you detest. How was that for a first race?
Yeah, not too bad, was it there? The circuit's awful. Don't like it on this, don't like it on F1, don't like it on Assetto Corsa. Doesn't matter what the game is, the circuit is the same. It's awful. But no, that was good start to the season.
How's the leg holding up, firstly?
Yeah, not too bad today. I've had a bit of a bad day with the back. It's been a bit stiff, been a bit sore, but took it easy, took my tablets, did a few stretches before I got into the seat. I've not driven all day, but no, we're all right. It's holding up.
That's good to hear. Obviously, the start of the race was pretty simple. You got ahead of Andy, and at that point, it was just stick behind the Overtaker and come home for second. Do you think the Overtaker just had that little bit too much pace that you could catch him?
He needed to make a mistake or two for me to get anywhere near him. Hats off to the guy as well, because fantastic qualifying lap, fantastic race pace. He, great start, got ahead of Andy early, which we needed to do, and then it was a case of just not make any mistakes. Had a couple of slides towards the end, just a lapse in concentration. Noticed the gap to Fury, so just started to take it a bit easier as it was coming down, because he had a cracking drive himself and he's got a lot of pace. Just a steady one, to be fair, quite unusual. Kind of missed and plover in my rear mirror, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, funny enough, we are currently watching that man right now who has managed to make it for race 2, so Empalava is back on track. But we're going into race 2, reverse grid. Obviously, you're used to the Pro-Am boys, into the pros. What's your mindset going into this race and how you're going to tackle it? Because this is going to be a lot harder, especially as you're starting dead last.
It's, yeah, which, you know, lovely. Every time I won a race in Pro-Am last year, I started last, and come runner-up in this race, I'm last again. The game obviously didn't seem to like me on the reverse grids, but no, this is a tricky turn 1 to get right, so I think it's going to be a case of wait and see what plays out. Tricky to overtake here, so you've got to get the moves done when the opportunity arises itself, but I've done Pro-Am, I mastered Pro-Am, I got through that pack pretty much unscathed every week. We'll hope to do the same here.
Sakito, bogey second for you. You've just got second. Hopefully a good race. Is the title really on the line already, or are you just taking it race by race?
No, obviously with going to Switzerland in 2 weeks' time, I'll be similar. So it's race by race. It's a case of survival this season, learn from this season, and see where we go for season 6. If the title opportunity is there come the end of the season, I'll be working hard for it, and no doubt I'll be giving it my all when I come back from Switzerland. But obviously I've got that to do and I miss Imola, and that's a shame, but we'll work hard, we'll try and get as best results as we can.
Right, we'll let you get back to your party.
Cheers, boys.
Jamie, 2 relatively happy drivers, 2 happy Mercedes drivers, so that will really annoy you, as we all relatively know that you're not the biggest Mercedes fan, but Matt and Fury...
I don't know what will give you that idea.
Matt and Fury, they're happy with their results, and but the Overtaker, obviously, man doesn't want to join us in the session. I think it's because I think he's Croatian, if I'm guessing right by the flag.
I think that might actually be either Slovenian or Slovakian.
Either one, whatever it is. Obviously, probably his English not as great, but nonetheless, he has listened to the rules of race. He's currently sitting in the pits, but what a demanding start from him. He completely dominated, and he took fastest lap, took pole position, and he took the race win. Let's see what he can do now. Now he's in a reverse grid situation. He'll be starting 10th once Gary puts a lap time in, and now we don't have the silly glitch where it drops to the Overtaker. But it's going to be an interesting race, though, especially for Matt and Overtaker, because this is all new to them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting as Gary goes into 7th. Only Monkey Boy out of the time cars is behind. Who have we got coming across the line? We've got Mazda coming across the line. He's third place. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because again, you've got the so you got the likes of D-Big. So D-Big didn't have a very good race 1. Gary, Mazda, and Andy didn't have a very good race 1 either. Emplava didn't race race 1, so we don't know what Emplava is going to be like. We know what he's been like in Pro-Am, but again, like we said for Pro, this is completely different. There's Emplava at the minute. He is 5th place, 6 tenths, or 1.6 off Andy. Oh, as he slides it through there, can he keep it together? No, he's put it in the wall. Who have we got coming to the end of the lap? We've got KLF 900. He's now coming down into the final corner. I think that is Emo Guy. No, Emo Guy is in the pit, so that's not him. So who is that behind? That might be Monkey Boy.
Possibly is Monkey Boy. If it was in red, it probably is Monkey Boy, but KLF towards the 9
KLF does not improve. Yeah, it was Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy comes to the line. Can he improve? No.
All these guys on and out lap, so they're probably running the hard tyres, and that was Andy's fault in race 1. He ran the softs, Disco warned him, and that's what made the worst out for him. The tyres died on him. Now he's probably got the hards on, and he's probably sitting there thinking, right, let's get this together. 42.0 is his best. The best we've seen so far is at 40.7 from the Overtaker, and so far Gary improves and goes up into 6th place.
Who's next is Emplava. Mazda is done. I think there's an Audi behind. That will be D-Biggs. Emplava coming through the final corner. Now coming towards the line. Can he improve on 5th place? He comes across the line. No, he does not.
Possibly the lap time where he hit the wall.
D-Biggs goes up to 3rd. So Mazda, while sitting in the pits, has been mugged of 3rd place. So who else have we got? Is Peaceful has come across the line. He's on 2 tenths quicker. Whereabouts? I think he was P2. Yeah, no. Yeah, he was P2. He's P2 already. Oh, yeah. He was the second off. Oh, Andy! Oh, and he launches himself back on the track.
If he goes faster here, this is going to be interesting. He might lose his pole position point if he goes faster. But towards the line, does he improve?
He doesn't. No, but he's very lucky. Yeah,
big still up.
I think it's KLF coming to the line. KLF's coming to the pits, demolishes the marker board. Monkey Boy down the pit, coming down the pit straight. Can he improve Andy's finish? He only had 0.3 left in the tank. Monkey Boy across the line. Goes 7th, goes above KLF. So who have we got next? It's Emplava, who's all the way at Spoon.
He's got D-Biggs behind him. D-Biggs is up 2/10. If Emplava's on a good lap time here, then possibly so is Biggs. Emplava really pushing this Mercedes. We haven't spoken much about him because he hasn't been here. 7/10 up. That will put him into third place position, and Biggs is behind him. So this is going to be interesting now. Emplava, brand new car, brand new team. He's actually got a teammate this season in the Mercedes. What can he do? Sounds like Biggs is on a fast lap behind him as well. Emplava, the Latvian, the young gun, who didn't quite beat Matt last season. Can he beat him in his own machine towards the line? What does Emplava do?
Second. D-Biggs comes across the line. D-Biggs goes third. So Peaceful comes across the line. Can he go back up to second place? Crosses the line. We'll have to see what he does. Peaceful is fourth. He got mugged in the final few seconds of that session by Emplava and D-Biggs.
So it is Andy who takes pole position, back where he belongs on pole, and second place is Emplava, third is D-Biggs, fourth is Peaceful Explosion, fifth is Mazda, sixth is Gary 131, seventh is Monkey Boy, and eighth is KLF 900. The first of the non-qualifiers is Disco Overtaker. Argent in 11th, 12th is Sutty Apex, 13th is Fury, 14th and 15th is Smokey and Emo Guy, and bringing up the rear is Matahimovic. And Jamie, this is going to be an interesting race too. We've got similar conditions, not much has changed here at Suzuka Sekito. Andy back where he belongs, Overtaker in the mid-pack, Matt starting at the back. This is going to be an interesting race too, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race too. It's going to be interesting to see how Overtaker... So, we've never seen Overtaker do a reverse grid race. We've seen in race 1 him get off the line and disappear, but this reverse grid race is a whole different thing because he's now got all different cars around him. He's got to try and stay out of trouble. We know what Matt's like in a reverse grid race. We know he can come through the grid quite quickly. We need to see how quickly Fury can come through as well, and see what Andy and Emplava and D-Biggs are going to do.
If Emplava gets a good start into turn 1, he could be leading this race, and we know what Emplava's like. When he gets away in front, it's very difficult for him to actually make a mistake. So Emplava on the front row looking good, but you're going to have to pick someone, Jamie, who's going to be your favourite to win.
I'm going to say Fury.
I'm going to go the way of Andy for this one, but guys, get your votes in. Smithy says, Girl 1 Emplava for P2. All 23 people back in the chat again. Guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to take this win. And also, towards the end of this race, I will be asking for your driver of the day. We're about to get underway for race 2. Guys, if you like what you see here, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. The revs are about to rise here in Japan. Sekito, race 2, season 6, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights. And we're green here in Suzuka. Peaceful gets that flyer. Look at him go. Did he jump the start? That is the question. But he is pressurised.
Oh, he's on the grass. Emplava pushes him on the grass there. Peaceful comes back on. Is there any contact? There's Fury round. Fury's been turned round by Emo Guy.
Not the start for Fury as Emplava pushes Peaceful off the track. And Emplava is now onto the back of Andy. But look at Peaceful.
Oh, who's that? That's Argent and Mazda.
Mazda's off, there's all sorts of cars, Argent's off, there's Monkey Boy in the background.
Monkey Boy's had a problem as well. Argent's now finally got going. Matt has had a cracking start, he's up to 8th, Overtaker's up to 7th. He's got Disco in front of him. Let's see how quickly he gets through on Disco. He's got KLF not too far up ahead as well.
This is going to... Overtaker's gone wide!
There's Overtaker's gone! Overtaker's gone off right! Peaceful's round!
Disco's round! They're all going round. He's at the back of KLF. There's all sorts of chaos.
Where's Overtaker?
Fury and Emo Guy. Where is Overtaker?
There's Overtaker. He's behind Monkey Boy now. He's had a shocking first lap.
Disco dropped right to the back, and Emplava is sticking right to the back of Andy here. But Andy...
He had a little wiggle there. D-Biggs is just a little further behind. Who's that one? That's
Emplava gone wide a little bit, but looks like KLF has now got Matt in it. Matt is up into 5th place already.
Yeah, Matt has had an absolute flying lap. Overtaker's back up to 12th, up to 11th already. He's now going for Mazda. He's going to get going to get the drive down the straight. Mazda, I think, has had a poor run because that Mercedes should smash the Lamborghini in a straight line, but it doesn't. Overtaker gets him done on pure powers, not much. And Parver's dropped it. He's got behind D-Biggs. He's now going to look to go around the outside
but more
of D-Biggs.
importantly, Fury's hit a wall. Fury's hit the wall. Let's go back to Fury. There's all sorts of chaos going down the back.
Fury's on his roof!
A reset button there, but he obviously has to hit the reset. And
can he get in?
Devil in the pits as well, so all sorts of chaos there.
Gets into the pit. Overtaker now behind Emo Guy, but he's behind his teammate. Matt is still behind KLF. Emplava has now... KLF has had a brilliant first lap as well. He's up in 4th. He's sticking with Emplava, and he's not been mugged by Matt yet. But Matt needs to get a wiggle on to get a gap to Overtaker.
Matt has got to be patient here. He has to be very patient.
Going to Disco.
Is Disco still there? No, Disco's still going. Sorry.
Disco's going.
After all that chaos, is now glitched out to Disco. Yep.
Sutty must have been involved with Fury because Sutty is down to 12th place.
Yeah, Sutty now through Degner too. He is trying to stick onto the back of Disco. Emo Guy with a fantastic start at the back. He is now up into 7th place position. So is Gary. He's had a good start. He's not too far behind.
Emo Guy's sideways. Can he keep it?
I think KLF's had a mistake as well because he's now gone behind.
Yeah,
Matt.
he's on the grass.
He has to be careful.
Can he keep it in front of Overtaker? Oh, I thought Emo Guy and KLF were going to let each other. Emplava trying to get his 2nd place back from D-Biggs. Matt now up to 4th. It's Pro-Am all over again. Matt is behind Emplava looking to get through on him.
This time it's not an Audi he's behind, it's a Mercedes of his own car in front of him, as that's KLF just ahead of Emo Guy, ahead of Monkey Boy, ahead of Disco, and ahead of Mazda. So Andy, with the greatest start he could have wanted, he's off and away. D-Biggs in 2nd, and 3rd is Emplava. Matt up to 4th, Gary 5th, 6th Overtaker, 7th KLF, 8th Emo Guy, 9th Monkey Boy, 10th is Disco, 11th Mazda, Sutty 12th, 13th is Argent, 14th Peaceful, 15th Fury, and 16th is Smokey. But Fury and Smokey still have to come in and make another pit stop.
Emo Guy's had a mistake because Overtaker has done him and has got 5 seconds on him already.
Emo Guy was behind KLF. As we see there, Monkey Boy and Disco came together. Oh, I thought they did. Where's Disco? I think he's had a moment.
Yeah,
Disco's gone round.
He's got no front bumper.
So
he's got no front bumper. Yeah, so he'll have 100%. He should have 100% front damage on that BMW. Matt hasn't really put the gap anymore. Overtaker is on Gary, so Gary is going to be instructed to hold that Lamborghini up as much as possible. I reckon. Oh, Overtaker's just going to go right the way around the outside. Has he done him? No. And he's sideways. Has he dropped it? Has he kept it? He's on the grass, but he's lost valuable time there to Gary.
So, according to the stream, according to the guys on the stream, the chat seems to be ahead of the actual stream itself. So I don't know what's going on there. Possibly my internet issues, and I apologise if that is the case. But we'll try not to give too much away. But Overtaker has made a mistake, and now Gary is staying ahead of him at this precise time.
Yeah, Gary has got to stay in front. Matt has now got within 1 second of Emplava. Emplava knows what Matt is going to be like. Matt has gone from a car which had no power and very good cornering to a car which has got very good power but isn't as good through the corners as his lawnmower.
Definitely so, and he's now onto the back of his championship rival from Pro-Am, Emplava, just making a few little mistakes. He just does not seem to be as comfortable in the Mercedes as Matt is. Overtaker still trying to find a way past on Gary, which is helping Andy and D-Biggs out, and also Emplava and Matt, because Overtaker is unable to get after them, as he has to just sit and wait behind the back of our two-time Pro champ of Gary 131.
Is Overtaker going to have another look into Spoon? Oh, Smokey Devil's had a problem. He's down in last place. Monkey Boy is trying to get past Disco. I think, yeah. And
D-Biggs.
Matt's done D-Biggs as well, so D-Biggs not had a problem. There's 2 flashes there from Matt. No, come on, Matt,
careful,
no
Flashy.
more. We've talked about this, Tyler Himovic.
We've put this rule especially in for Matt because he likes to have a little bit of a flash. Emperava looked like he went wide.
That's it.
Overtaker.
That's the overtaker off. The overtaker's gone off.
He has gone off. Emperava looked very wide on the exit of 130R. I don't
Where's
know how close
Matt?
Matt is. Matt is close, but not close enough.
The thing is, Matt is going to be a lot more comfortable. He's in the slipstream. Is he going to go for the move into turn 1? He knows what Emperava drives like. Emperava's gone sideways.
He's kept it together.
Here comes
D-Biggs down the
D-Biggs,
inside.
There's a little bit there's a little nudge there, I think, but they've kept status quo. Overtaker is now behind Sutty Apex, so he's down to 9th, and he'll have Mazda on the back of him ever so soon. Disco now comes
in.
into the pits within the pit window.
So Disco pits within the pit window. He's the first man to do so, so he must have had damage. Still end of lap 4 to the end of lap 14. Also, Arjun is in, so they have got their pit stops done and out the way. Will Fury and Smokey come in as well. They have to do so because they pitted on the earlier lap, so they will have to pit again at some point.
Yeah, Arjun. Is Fury and Smokey going to get through on them? Overtaker has done Sutty already. KLF hasn't dropped off the back of Emo Guy either.
No, it's just hanging in there a little bit. Kelly just trying to get into a groove by the looks of things. Constantly in the 45s. The rest of them around. 47 from Gary, 47 from D-Biggs, 57 from Overtaker. Sutty also 45s, 48. So he's in that ballpark. Fury is also into the pits as well.
Matt, to tell you what, Andy, whilst these 3 have been battling, I think. Oh, Matt's
had a
dropped
big
it!
off. Matt's
He's
had
in the gravel.
Matt has had a
Teddy-
big off as Andy's into the pits as well. So Matt
Where's
with a
Gary?
big off.
Gary comes through 130. Yeah, he's not going to get Matt. Andy gets
Andy's
to
in.
stop out the way nice and early.
Gary's into the pits though, so that's why Matt. What a stop there from Andy. In and out and gone.
Beautiful stop. Where's Overtake? Overtaker is there. Whereabouts is Andy? Andy is on his way out of the pits and can actually go on board normally. Overtaker goes through, but obviously he hasn't pitted yet. Where is Andy going to come out? He's going to come out, I think, by Monkey Boy.
Well, the first pitter was Disco, and Disco's way behind. Mazda is into the pit also.
Yeah, Andy comes out just in front of, or a couple of seconds in front of Monkey Boy. Peter gets through on Gary. Gary is on his way out. Mazda hasn't stopped yet, or has stopped, but he hasn't.
This is a stop. So Emperava now leads this race from D-Biggs, Matt in 3rd, Emo Guy in 4th, Kelly is now up into 5th place, 6th is the Overtaker, 7th is Sutty Apex, 8th is Andy, 9th is Monkey Boy, 10th Peaceful, Gary, 11th Mazda coming out to pit stop in 12th, but I don't know if Disco is currently in 13th, so we won't get him. Smokey in 14th, Fury in 15th, and Argent in 16th. But all these guys, still a lot to them to pit. And Emperava leads Pro.
Yeah, so Emperava, the driver who started last season in Pro-Am, came on leaps and bounds in Pro-Am. Is leading the Pro race. Overtaker is now on the back.
KLF.
On the back of KLF. Well, we've seen now that Overtaker is not invincible and can make mistakes. He's made 2 pretty big mistakes.
Yeah, looks like he needs a good clear run to have a good race, but at the minute he's struggling to clear traffic, and he's onto the back of KLF 900.
Went a little bit wide. KLF comes across to defend. Overtaker, he's on the grass. Keep out the wall. No, he's in the wall. He's going to come back across the track.
Has he kept the rear wing? Yes, he has. He's kept the rear wing.
And he's now going to come flying past. So Overtaker's race has gone from bad to worse because he's now behind the net race leader. So even though he hasn't pitted, Monkey Boy comes into the pits. Even though Overtaker hasn't pitted, he's already behind Andy, who hasn't stopped. Overtaker is missing a rear light, so he's going to have significant damage on the rear. He might even have suspension damage.
Emperava, that last lap, was matching the pace of Matt, so those two actually starting to exceed their potential here D Biggs not quite in the same pace as them, but Biggs trying to stick with Emplava as best he can. Monkey Boy was the next man to pit. So when do these guys start to pit? Currently another person's watching my private stream. I don't know why you're watching that. Make sure you head over to the Simplay Motorsport stream on YouTube to see all the action. But right now, Matimovic seems to be struggling here a little bit. But possibly as Emplava's made a mistake. He's in the wall.
Emplava's dropped in. Fury. Is that Fury? Yes, Fury. Has Fury got in the way of the race leader? I tell you what, Fury. I would if you've had contact with Emplava, I would run and hide after this race. Run and hide under any rock you can find.
Has Emplava got moving again? That's the question. I don't think he has. Where is it? Yeah, he has.
He's got no rear wing though.
He has no rear wing. The race leader now passes him.
Oh, Emplava.
So
it was all going so well for D Biggs comes into the pits. Matt continues on. Overtaker is behind Andy. So is Overtaker? Overtaker's now coming into the pits.
He's probably got damage to the back of that car, and he needs to get in as quickly as he possibly can.
We get it slowed down. Yep, he gets it slowed down in time. D Biggs has got damage on the front. So is this going to give Matt the lead? Because Matt will have no damage. Say although he went off through 130R, he didn't hit any wall. So it all depends. Overtaker fixing his damage.
All this is doing, all this damage, Emplava, D Biggs, all this lot is helping the likes of Emo Guy, KLF and Sutty all move up. At the minute, Emo Guy is in net third place right now.
Overtaker is right out behind D Biggs, so D Biggs is gonna have lost the race lead to Matt.
Oh yeah, easily. Matt's just got to come in, do his pit stop, and off he goes again. This has been chaotic. So already season 6 of the Pro Championship, and there's always been a little bit of chaos racing going on. Emplava has pitted, so I have noted that down. But
so, look who's up in third place, or was up in third place.
Oh! Careful, boys!
He's still there. The Audio Sport Pro Laps boys are having a little ding dong. Which, to be fair, they don't really want to be doing. It's quite early on in the season, you just want to score points.
Yes, they do. They want to score good points between them, as Kelly takes a little bit more curve than Sutty there, as they both come towards the final corner. Emo Guy goes into the pits, but both Prolapse boys, look at this. This is beautiful to see, actually, these two going around together. Both in a very quick car, and Kelly...
Matt's the pits as well.
Matt's in the pits. Kelly now leads Pro.
Sutty run wide. Is he gonna drop it? No, he keeps it on. I tell you what, Kelly will be having a nosebleed.
All I'm going to be saying right now, Jamie, is that Audio Sport Pro Laps leads Seguito 1 and 2. KLF and Sutty are leading this race right now. Andy, obviously 3 seconds behind. He is the net race leader, but it is nice to see these two Lamborghinis leading this race.
Kelly's going to go back. Kelly will go back after this. Take a picture of the two cars and hang it up on his fridge, saying we led 1-2 at Seguito. And to be fair, I don't blame him. I would as well.
Pieces in the pits as well. So we're still waiting for Sutty and Kelly. Also Smokey to serve his pit stop. That is everybody pitting.
Here comes Overtaker on D Biggs. D Biggs shuts the door.
Overtaker got to go the long way around, but it ain't going to happen because D Biggs has got the corner covered, and D Biggs will stay ahead. Peaceful dropping down the order a little bit there, but Smokey's still yet to pit.
Overtaker going to go right around the outside. He just needs to be really patient. He is whilst being the quickest person on the track, it doesn't mean you can overtake at every single corner. D Biggs has gone wide. That overtake. So you wait for moments like that, and he's got through cleanly. He doesn't need to overtake on the places. You just cannot overtake at all.
No,
Disco's left.
Disco has left the session, so we'll have to see if that is a disconnection.
Kelly comes into the pits. He goes over the sleeping policeman.
Kelly into the pits. Now we just wait on Sutty, Pex and Smokey, as Matt will come through 130R in a net second place pretty much. Question is, Gary isn't actually too far off the back of Matt, and Gary's just minding his own business. Is he going to jump KLF here? Is Gary
Where's
I see a car going loose on the background. Oh, I thought it was Fury. Fury was going a little bit loose there.
He might have just run it a little bit wide. KLF is on his way out, but I think
there goes Gary.
Gary has done him. So
Gary in a net third place.
Yeah, Gary has pitted, hasn't he?
He has, yes.
Yeah.
He was one of the first
So
to pit.
at the minute, it looks like a double. If things stay as they are with Sutty pitting, it looks like it would be a double podium for Jaeger Motorsport.
And after the traumatic race of race 1, you thought that Gary would be on the podium. He's got to hang on to it, though. That's the thing. Emo Guy isn't too far behind. He's only 3 seconds off the back of Gary. KLF still doing very well in the 6th place position. He's got a decent gap over the Overtaker, but he's now cleared D Biggs. Can the Overtaker catch the back of KLF, who arguably we reckon is, as Disco says, oh my days, man. He's obviously not happy, but...
and he's already on the back of Sutty there.
Smokey has served his pit stop, so everyone has now pitted, so there's no inquiries to look at pits, but Andy is onto the back of Sutty. Sutty, the only man to pit now, and he looks like he's coming in.
He's coming in. Oh, he gets right up on the sausage curbs as well. That's not the quickest way in, Sutty, and he's really slow.
Yeah, I think he's just been caught out there, but Sutty Apex into the pit. Where is Matt? He's probably coming through 130.
Through 130.
There he goes.
I'd say Matt is going to be very cautious coming through there now after his moment early on.
Yeah, it's definitely that curve as Gary 131 is the one we need to keep an eye on. Sutty Apex, it looked like he was having decent pace. Fury once again is on the pace and stuck onto the back of Gary. He wants to try and unlap himself here, but by the sounds and looks of things, Fury causing a little bit of chaos at the minute. But Gary up into 3rd place now.
Yeah, he's up into 3rd place. Emo Guy up into 4th as well. Sutty 5th, KLF 6th. Is Sutty now going to let KLF through? No. Overtaker's only a couple of seconds back.
So here's the thing, Jamie. Is now KLF going to be Sutty's rear wing for the Overtaker?
We know how good KLF, how good a defender KLF is. Oh, he's gone off. Is that his wheel? I wonder whether it's his wheel dying, because that kind of looked a bit like Liam.
Kind of like it went loose then.
Yeah.
D-Biggs now moving up into 7th place position. KLF, I know he runs Logitech G29 and I knew it wouldn't die out on him, so it's looks like a slight error there.
Gary, if you listen to this, let Fury go.
Yeah, Fury's looking racy and he seems to be causing a lot of issues in this 2nd race. We're not sure what happened between him and Emprava, but it's ruined his race, and Emprava's down in 12th place position.
So before that, Fury had been on his reef already. Oh, Fury with massive snap there.
He had a big moment there. Gary trying to mind his own business. He is the lead car, but it is Andy back to his ways. He is leading this race. He's in pole position in the start, and he's now leading this race. He's got a comfortable gap of 18.3 seconds, and again, the only person who can stop him now is himself. Yeah,
he's coming up to Argent in 13th. He's not had a good race all that, and he had a bit of a wiggle through there.
Yeah, he had a little wiggle there. Overtaker getting closer to Sutty, lap by lap. He is slowly catching him. Sutty crosses the line 49.4. That's obviously an outlap, but a 42.9 from the Overtaker. He's flying.
Has Fury made a mistake? He's got ahead of Gary now.
Smokey's pitted. He had to make his 2nd pit stop, so he's been in again. So probably that's what you're looking at. Sutty now starting to get a little bit of pressure from the Overtaker. This is going to be a big challenge for the Overtaker. He's in the same car as the man who absolutely loves the Lamborghini of Sutty Apex. So we'll see how the Overtaker handles this challenge.
Oh, I thought he ran
Sounds
it a
like
bit
a car
wide
off. Is that Emo Guy?
Emo Guy's dropped down to 6th place, so that gives Sutty 4th. Where's D-Biggs? D-Biggs is now coming through. Yeah, he's nowhere near.
But that gap is come down a little bit to Emo Guy, so possibly could get onto the back of him. I've got to sneeze a minute. Nope, it's not coming, so we're all good. I thought we were going to have a sneeze there. You still there, Jamie?
Yeah, still there. Overtaker. Oh, so he's run a bit wide through 130. Yeah, is this going to give Overtaker his chance? Overtaker. Oh, so he had a wiggle through there as well.
I think the Overtaker is going to get sick and tired of those Audio Pro Laps boys running wide on the 130R, because every time he catches one, they're going wide there. So Overtaker bringing that gap down. He's just within reach of Sutty, but he has to be patient. Sutty is a tricky person to pass. He's gone wide, and that's made a mistake in turn 2. They're now catching onto the back of a back marker.
Which
was that Gary? No, it's
that's
Smokey.
Smokey Devil. And Plava is 9 tenths behind Monkey now, excuse me.
So Andy's still leading this race, but we see that Emplava trying to get onto the back of Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy at the minute just not too far behind his teammates. Simplay Racing redeeming themselves somewhat in race 2, 10th and 11th place, but not been the best of starts for the Ferrari boys. But Emplava caught out in race 1, the start of the race, as Monkey Boy goes wide, touches the gravel, and he's gone round.
Oh, but Emplava had a wiggle there, so that's not helped him at all. He's on the outside for this corner. He's going to try and save it.
Overtaker is right on Sutty. So this should be interesting.
Yeah. He's going to try into 130. He's going to have the biggest balls here at Sim Play. He's going to try it on Mr. Send It. Sutty Send It himself. He's looking, he's going for it.
Oh, this is brave.
Oh no, he backs out at the end.
The hardest man to pass is probably Sutty, especially if you come to 130R in his Lamborghini. That was brave stuff there from the Overtaker. Knew it wasn't going to work, and he had to bail out of that. So glad we managed to catch that on stream, as Monkey Boy seems to have pulled away from Emplava now. Emplava looks like he's made a mistake, had to come away from those two. But Overtaker down the inside, is he going to get it up? Is no up into turn 2? No, not
nearly
quite.
makes contact with him. Mazda is now on the back of KLF. Overtaker goes onto the grass. He's not going to find any extra grip out there. Sutty is going very defensive. Is this Overtaker's chance? He goes to the outside, touches the grass. No. Is he going to try and do to Sutty what he did to D Big? Sutty goes defensive. Overtaker's going to look for the cutback. No, Sutty plants the car perfectly there. It's going to take something majestic to overtake Sutty. Six laps to go.
Sutty is doing everything right. He's holding that car in the right place. He doesn't need to go fast. The Overtaker really struggling to find the way past Sutty Apex. And there, Overtaker crumbling under the pressure, runs a little bit wide, and Sutty extends his gap a little bit. It's great racing from then. Mazda and KLF are really close as well. So Mazda has managed to catch KLF in the latter stages of this race. I've got a new friend, so thanks for that. But the Overtaker is still not quite close enough to Sutty.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not exactly faster. He's not. Oh, Sutty spun it!
Sutty's made the mistake. Overtaker has managed to get back through.
Overtaker's back through. He's now got a 6-second gap to Gary. Can he close it? Let's see what his lap time is. This lap, is it a 43? It is a 44.2. So Gary was quicker on that lap.
Yeah,
let's cut back to Maz.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget, Jamie. He was stuck behind KLF. Stuck behind Sutty for most of that, and Sutty made a mistake, so he had to lift and make his way through there. But Gary 44.1, Overtaker 44.2. It's going to be tight, but Overtaker could catch him. 5 seconds is the gap between them. Can Gary hang on to a podium? That is the question. Your only champion in the pro.
I think Dan's dropped his controller again.
No, I just hiccup.
Yeah, Mazda doesn't look quick enough to pass Kelly. Kelly is defending very well. I'd say he looks so much better in that Lamborghini than he does in the McLaren.
See, me and Kelly have very different driving styles. He joined me in the McLaren thinking that he was going to ace it, and it turned out they actually detested it. So did Sutty. Now they're both in the car. They both like the Lamborghini. Sutty is doing really well in 5th place position. So is Kelly in 8th. So it is working out for them, and it's a good change for them. Emplava is now ahead of Monkey Boy.
But how is Overtaker getting on with Gary? He's got the gap to 4.3 seconds already, so he's already making inroads onto the last spot on the podium. Then he's got an 11-second gap to Matt, which I don't think he'll be able to close. I think Gary is third place is as far as the Overtaker is going to get this race.
But the thing is though, Jamie, Overtaker did catch Gary earlier on before and could not find a way past. Gary doing a fantastic defensive drive. He's got to do it all again. I think it's going to be the very last lap. Overtaker will catch him. Mazda right on the back of KLF. These two have had a
go around the outside. Is Mazda going to have the balls to do it? Mazda does all this contact and
he tried it.
Yeah, I think Mazda should have. He tried it and probably should have backed down. He's now actually going to lose a place to Peaceful. So after trying to be brave, instead of gaining a position, he's lost one.
Yeah, so Peaceful now up into 9th place position. Mazda trying to be ballsy and go around the outside of 130R, trying to do a Fernando Alonso, but it did not work whatsoever as
Mazda's in the pits now.
Yeah, so he has damage. But lap 16 here, guys. We're going to start lap 17 very shortly. And it is Andy who still leads this race by a demanding lead of 17.3 seconds ahead of Matimovic. Third is Gary, but he's being hunted by Overtaker in 4th place. Sutty in 5th after his little mistake. And Emo Guy now in 6th place position. D-Big's not too far off the back of him. He's in 7th. 8th is KLF, who's just put Mazda in the wall and has dropped down to 12th place into the pits. Peaceful is now in 9th place position. 10th is... Oh, Argent's been in the wall as Emprava is in 10th. Monkey Boy is 11th. Mazda 12th. 13th is Fury. 14th is Argent. And bringing up the rear is Smoky Devil. After a great race 1, race 2 has not gone his way.
Yeah, it's not gone his way at all. Yeah, Argent's definitely made a mistake because...
Andy's made a mistake. What's that lap time? A 49.0. So what has happened to Andy there?
Has he been... Oh, he has been lapping. There is a lap car behind him. So who is that? Is that Smokey?
Is it Fury?
No. It's no. Monkey Boy.
It was Monkey Boy. So possibly trying to clear Monkey Boy. So
fastest man that last lap was Overtaker. Fury is now on the back of Mazda.
More importantly, Overtaker is now catching Gary rapidly. 2 seconds now separating these two.
That's 1.5 now.
Yes, 1.5. Gary is in trouble here. He's getting hunted down by the Overtaker, who's currently looking to try and get back on the podium. He runs a little wide.
He's pushing that Lamborghini so hard.
13 litres worth of fuel. Is that going to be enough to get him to the end? Surely it is.
Yeah, I would imagine it is.
Yeah, I think it should be. I think it was something like 3 litres a lap. So yeah, it should be okay. So Gary's still trying to hang in there. Overtaker really pushing the car. Gary running wide there on the exit of Spoon. Overtaker can see that Mercedes dancing. Overtaker 6/10 off his best, and he's in the 42s. Andy now back in the 42s. So can Overtaker catch and pass Gary before the end? They now start lap 18. Into the final corner we go.
Yeah, Overtaker does have... I think he had a little left through there. The gap's 1.2. He's not going to close that Merc. To be fair, on the times he is...
He took a second out of Gary that last lap, and Gary just seems to be struggling in Sector 1. The Overtaker is coming for him slowly but surely. He is creeping onto the back of that Mercedes. What other fights are going on track? Peaceful was onto the back of KLF. KLF looks like he's had a mistake somewhere.
Kelly trying to keep 8th place. Been a good night for Kelly so far.
Yeah, he's kept his nose clean, kept out of trouble. There in the background, you see Overtaker catch onto the back of Gary. As he had another incident with a wall, he looks a little bit buckled.
Front of that car.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the car or it just might be the livery, because I think I got confused quite a bit back in season 2 when say me and Keys using livery, because I'm not too sure whether or not that is. Let's have a look on the roof. No, it doesn't look like it.
I think he's hit something. It's normally quite white across the front, but either way, Overtaker has passed Gary. We've missed that.
Yeah, he's done him. Overtaker's done Gary. So the gap to Matt is 11.4.
Yeah, but watch this. Watch Gary come back. That Mercedes has got some grunt, and if he's had a good exit out the final corner, he should be able to get onto the back of him. Gets
in the slipstream. Here comes the Mercedes. Is Overtaker going to defend? No. Gary's going to send it, but he got Overtaker spun. He's lost it. Can he get it back on the power? And he goes back behind the Mercedes.
My controller keeps dying on me, and I've got it plugged in. This is the annoying thing. So I'm trying to do my best here, but the Overtaker has managed to lose a position to Gary here.
Yeah, he's got to try again. Fury is now on the back of Monkey Boy. There's a train here, and Matt is a part of this.
Yeah, Matt does not want to be a part of this whatsoever. He wants to clear these guys as quickly as he possibly can.
Let Fury go, because look, Fury is trying to give you a kiss on the rear.
Yeah, just at the end here, Matt's really in the worst place he could possibly be in. A fight between the back runners of Monkey Boy and Fury has got the bit between his teeth. Matt's run wide. Matt, I really would recommend you letting Fury go. Fury's coming.
I think Fury's got the inside anyway. Emplava's in the pits. What's happened to Emplava?
He's got
damage. He's got
damage. He's crabbing badly. Gary and Overtaker looking really close once again. Yep, Overtaker right onto the back of Gary. Matt is still in that scramble between Monkey Boy and Fury.
He's let Fury. He hasn't let Fury go. But he should do the Ferrari down the straight now, and he just pretty much walks past the Ferrari. Let's see if Fury can do him as well. Here comes Fury down the inside of
Overtaker
Monkey
and Gary though, they're quite close.
And Fury, the pair of them. It just had a spin. Monkey Boy dropped it as well.
Overtaker, Gary, let's go back to them. They're very close once again. 4:10 separating those two.
There's a lap car. Gary's dropped it!
No, Gary's dropped it right at the end. He was on the podium. He just had to survive one more lap, and Overtaker has got him.
It's Mazda. How easy is Mazda going to be to overtake here?
I'm not sure about that, but where is
Andy on? Oh my god!
Andy on track.
Oh, Overtaker is not trying to over. He is now coming down the little straight, coming down the straight before.
He's already celebrating. He's already celebrating there. He's leaving down the back straight.
Andy, celebrate. You know what will happen if you celebrate early? Don't.
Yeah, I'm just going to remind you that Andy has made a mistake previously, and in the Clio he's reversed and messed it up completely. But Andy exits the final corner when he carries on. Oh, my stupid controller keeps dying.
Andy comes across the line to win race 2 here at Sakito.
Congratulations to Andy.
Matt Hemovich now coming towards the final corner. It should be another second place for this man, and I think he should be leading the championship if I am correct.
I reckon Overtaker will just have him if he finishes in 3rd place. Overtaker
towards the line.
Overtaker comes towards the line. Mazda finishes in 12th place. Overtaker comes across, finishes 3rd on the podium. Gary across the line for 4th. Lost the podium on the last lap. Here comes Sutty. Argent finishes the race in the pit lane. I don't know whether he's actually retired or not.
Go to him and see him if he's still in the pits. I think he's actually driving in the pits. So where is Argent? Let's have a look at him. I want to know if he's retired. Yeah, he's coming out. Sorry.
Emo Guy finishes hit. D-Biggs across the line for 7th. Good haul of points for D-Biggs, trying to learn trying to learn the Audi. KLF coming down towards 130R. Once again, some good points from Kelly. He's the car he's learning about, beating some of the big names.
He has done very well here.
Race.
He has done very well here, but it is Matt who looks like he's been the top dog in points tonight. Maybe Overtaker has got him at the end, but it is Andy who will take the win here in race 2. He's now back to his form. Race 1 is kind of a forget and move on, but KLF coming towards the line. He's now the last one to cross the line. As Jamie, if you want to grab Andy into the party, I'm pretty sure Matt is already updating the stats for me.
Overtaker got fastest lap as well.
So fastest lap for him as well, as I can't see anything on Google, so I will try my best. But it is Andy who is your race winner. Matimovic will take second. Third is Overtaker. Fourth is Gary 131. Fifth is Sutty Apex. Sixth is Emo Guy. Seventh is D Biggs. Eighth is KLF 900. Ninth is Peaceful. 10th is Fury. 11th is Monkey Boy. 12th is Mazda. 13th is Empire. 14th Smoky Devil. 15th is Argent, and Disco left the session midpoint of that. But we do have Matt in the session. Jamie, can you just save the replay, because I can't do so?
I can't either. I've got.
Great.
I've got them both.
Great. I've managed to save 3 replays, and they've already taken up my memory. But we have got Matt in the chat, and Matt, race 2 once again. You did a Gary basically lap 1, didn't you? You managed to skip all the chaos and get yourself up to P2.
Yeah, got myself up to P2 and made a mistake early on, which probably let Andy get away a bit easier than I'd have liked him to, but it is what it is. Good points.
Sakito, you come here, your first attempt in the Pro, and take 2 seconds. You've got to be happy with that.
Oh, over the moon with that. Over the moon. To win Pro-Am last year, and then to come in with these guys, Andy and everybody else who you see over the last couple of seasons have been fighting at the front with yourself. To fight them, take them on, and be second in the championship as I come away is you know, outstanding.
Well, it's promising for yourself, because like you said, you don't like Sakito. You move to Road America next. What's your plans for Road America, and are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I don't mind Road America. It's good to see it on the calendar, and it'd be good to do it. Obviously, early morning race, so a bit of testing in a week to get the right times for right pressures and set up for the times. But no, looking forward to that one. I think it could be an interesting one, and hopefully the Merc will go well again and take the fight to that Lamborghini and BMW.
So, like I said earlier on, championship, is it on the tables? Your bogey circuit's done and out the way.
It's on, depending on how good the rest of the season is. Like I said earlier, I miss Imola, which is a big disappointment for me, because I like Imola, and the fight will be tough to get back with everybody else. With no drop scores this season, it means that my lowest score will be 0, and that's it. There is no drop scores to get that out of the way. It'll be tough, but we'll work hard for it. We're not going to lie down and give up. We're going to fight to the end, and it's never over till the fat lady sings.
Definitely. And Gary also scoring some good points there in race 2, so that's got to be good for the team as well.
Yeah, he seemed to gel with that Mercedes in the second race a bit more than race 1. You know Gary as well as I do. He makes a couple of changes race 1 to race 2, and he seems a lot better. Dropped it at the end on the last lap, otherwise we think he'd have probably hung on for 3rd against Overtaker. But nonetheless, solid points in race 2, good points in race 1. Gary gets some laps under him belt in that Mercedes, and we go again next week.
Well, congratulations on your 2 second places, mate, and we will see you on Sunday as we head to Monza for F1.
Cheers, buddy.
Congratulations. And we have your race winner tonight. He went from a tragic race 1, and now he is top of the table. Andy, congratulations on the win. That's a lot better than race 1.
Yeah, couldn't have been a worse start to the season, that first race. I don't know what possessed me, but I went on the soft tyres, which was obviously the wrong decision. It was a mad decision, and looking back, it should have been a no-brainer to go on the hards. This track just does not reward soft tyres. They just seem to burn out after a couple of laps, and also they're not as quick as the hards. When you get the hards up to temperature, the hards are about a second a lap quicker anyway, so I don't know what caused me to want to do that, but yes, second race I knew I'd be able to qualify, and just made sure that I could get pole in the qualifying. As soon as I got into turn 1, still with the lead, I could see Emplava having to defend, I think, from D Biggs into turn 1. And I could see both of those two on the inside, and it was a bit of a hairy moment. That was the most scary moment of the race, was going into turn 1. As soon as I got through the S's, lap 1, I just felt confident. I felt like it was my race to lose. I was monitoring the gap to Matt, and it was staying around 4 or 5 seconds for the first few laps once he had made his way through the pack. And then just kind of kept looking at it every now and then. I saw that there were incidents. I don't know if he got involved in a few skirmishes or whatnot, but that gap just kept going up. And I noticed that Overtaker and Fury both got in trouble in that second race. So in terms of potential rivals having bad races, the second race could not have gone better for me. Just a shame about the first one, really.
Well, you've learned from the first one that the softs are not the way to go for the season. Obviously, with the summer season, it's going to be a hard time. Exactly. Obviously, let's mention about the grid this season. Obviously, we got the likes of Matt and Emplava coming straight up from Pro-Am to Pro, and we got Overtaker as well, and returning faces as well. It's going to be a hard season, even though I'm not there to push your toes. Definitely Matt, Overtaker, and Emplava will definitely be pushing you as hard as ever.
Oh yeah, Overtaker is something else. His raw pace, I have not seen anything like that. He's the quickest driver that aside from yourself and a bloke called Yasko and somebody called Edwin, I think these guys, and obviously Matt as well, but aside from those guys, I mean, Overtaker is on another level. It's going to take work, it's going to take dedication to be able to match that. I don't know if I've got that in me. Especially the amount of hours that I've put into this game. I don't think there is much else to learn. So I'm kind of like scratching my head as to where he's gaining a second a lap in quali pace. But the race pace isn't as formidable. We're kind of like reasonably level playing field in terms of race pace. So I suppose that's a bit of there's a bit of hope there.
At least you know how I feel now on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But other than that, you have the experience of being in the reverse races and being in the pack and racing most of these guys. So that's something you do have over Overtaker. So that's something that you could probably take into your stride into the season. Go into Road America. What can you do and what can Disco do? This has got to be Slingshot's best chance to win the drivers and win the constructors, surely.
Yeah, Disco and I were saying that before this, because we've got a few seasons under our belt now. This is our third season as a partnership. We've been in the same car. We kind of know it like the back of our hands now. Race 2 didn't really go to plan for Disco. I know that he had a couple of incidents, I think with Monkey Boy, he was saying in the chat. He got caught up in an incident as well earlier on. I think it was Peaceful, I'm not sure. So... yeah, not the best start in terms of the team. Obviously, with me having a scruffy race in the first race and second race to Scope retiring, so it's not good to be getting a retirement this early in the season. With the points that you get docked for retirements, that doesn't bode well. So yeah, hopefully we can avoid those. But no, it's got to be a chance of it because both of us are reasonably consistent. We're usually up in the top half, so. Yeah, we've just got to keep getting the results and try and not do what we did tonight.
Definitely so, but nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win.
Cheers, then.
Jamie, obviously, first round of the season, done and out the way. It's been a dramatic race already here at Sakito. We got the worst circuit out the way and done. In your opinion, mate, who was your driver of the day?
Driver of the day is... I've got to give it to Matt. Say 2 second places... Coming up from Pro-Am, say to get 2 second places in Pro, I think, yeah, he driver of the day for me.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Matt as well, a circuit that he doesn't like as well. He takes driver of the day from us. Guys, you can put your votes in. No one has put votes in, but Matt, to me and Jamie, is driver of the day. Make sure you tune in a week's time as we head to Road America. The first time we go there at Simplay Motorsport, what can these guys do? Will the Lamborghini of the Overtaker be strongest once again in qualifying, or can Andy and Matt, or possibly Fury, stop him from taking another pole position? We know Andy can do it. He has got the pace. Can he do it, making sure he's on the hard tire? Tune in also on Sunday night as we are heading to Italy for Monza for the next round of the F1 Championship. I believe it's round 12. Join me in the commentary box and make sure you tune in for that. But then the touring cars will return back on Tuesday night as we head to Donington Park National, and then the Pro and Pro-Ams will be back next week. Tune in for that. I believe the Overtaker takes the championship lead away from Sakito. None of my technology is working right now, so I don't actually know.
Do you want me to run through the tables?
Yes, please, Matthew.
Overtaker leads the way on 44 points from myself, 4 points behind. Andy's third on 30, with Sooty Apex leaving Sakito for P4 on 24. Fury's fifth on 21, with Emo Guy sixth on 18, tied with Gary on 18 points as well. Peaceful Explosion is 8th on 14 points, with Smoky Devil 9th on 13. KLF is 10th on 12 points. D-Biggs 11th on 11 points, with Disco and Argent tied with Mazda for P12 on 10. Monkey Boy is 15th on 5, and Emplava picking up 3 points. And the Constructors' title, the Silence of the Lambs, 4 points clear of Jaeger Motorsport, with Slingshot Motorsport in P3, 22 behind. Audio Sport Prolapse are P4 on 36, 5 ahead of Teletubby Motorsport, who are 10 in front of Pushing Limits Racing. Simplay Racing are just 3 ahead of Smoking Hot Racing.
That's it, guys. That is your tables at this stage. Tune us in next week to see the action once again as we head to Road America. But from myself and Jamie and everybody here at Simplay Motorsport, it's good night.
Good night.
And you clear.
Yeah, but I wasn't clear in the chat, was I? In the break, was I? According to Little Leech, I